How we doing this morning? We're live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube Shorts. Let's see if we can get YouTube up in here. Wait for it. There we go. What's good, Peter? How you doing this morning? Or I guess it's afternoon. Chat, I'm not used to streaming in the evenings or afternoons. How's it going? How's everyone's afternoon? There we go. Good crew. What's good, Ajax? How you doing, bro? How long till Fiesta? It starts in 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and start mining. Because first off, I need to save up a crap ton of money. But actually, before we do that, I do have some citrines that I've saved up. And I basically finally have a reason to sell them. So they're not really that much more than they were like pre-update stuff. But 126 million coins. Sold 6 of those. So I've still got quite a few for myself. We've got 7 saved up. I think you only need 4 with the new update, but I got 7 saved up, so we'll be chilling on that. But anywaysers, how long till Fiesta? It's in 10 minutes, dude. How long does it last? 2 hours English. Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Got kicked out and I've been sleeping in my car for the last 4 days. Brother, that does not sound like a good time, man. I hope you find something better soon. Goodness. Before forging update drops, for real, for real. What's good, Slayer? What's up, Perky? What's up, Danius? How do I update my mods to the newer versions for forging? I have no idea, man. I got no clue. I use BLC. All you gotta do is just swap the version to 1.20 for BLC. And play Skyblock at all today. I'm so bored. Wild. Yeah, I mean, now with having played the alpha with forging on it and then swapping to this, it's a lot different. I just want to play forging on made now. That's where I'm at. How come you're mining Peridot? Because citrine is more expensive? Actually, perfect citrines go for 22 mil. And perfect Peridots also go for 22 mil. So it's like the same thing. Pretty much. They're the same right now. Parents said they were going to start charging me $1,000 a month to live with them. Then my sister and her husband live there and don't pay rent or work. Brother. What in tarnation? That kind of sucks, man. Just a little bit. Pain. Flaws are 400k more a piece. Maybe I could do that, but thing is, that's also probably going to be more contested as well right now. And it's not enough of a difference for me to really care, to be honest. I got 3 perfect Peridots. Wait, was it 3? Actually, yes, it was. I forgot. Let me do that real quick. Bizarre Peridots. I meant to do this yesterday, but I forgot because it was right at the end of the Fiesta. But see, I got 2, and we got a 3rd one chilling now, so I got to make sure I don't get another one. Papega. All right. Do. Yeah, I'm sorry, Rona, man. That sucks. I'll be praying for you, bro. I hope something else comes up for you. Pain. I got number 53 in Fig collection on the Alpha. Wild. Got the right equipment? Yeah. We're chilling. We're vibing. I got number 18 Fig on Alpha. It's quite fun. I like mining, so this update's fantastic. Yeah, I think it's, you know, a lot of people are like, you know, Forging Slayer would have been great and all this stuff, but like, I mean, if everything was combat, then what's the point, you know? I'd rather have some different experiences. So it's kind of cool with forging that, you know, you've got the axe throwing mechanic as part of that. I like that a lot. And then, you know, you really think about like the difference between deep caverns and then like when Dwarven Mines came out. Excuse me. Like it's still mining. It's just like a new thing to mine and then new gear to mine with. And then they added mining abilities and stuff like that. New enchants. And then eventually we got, you know, mine shafts and all this cool stuff with the higher levels of mining. So yeah. Good as Alexis. How you doing, bro? What's up, Wagon? Missing Fiesta. How much longer does it have? It starts in 5 minutes. How would you build net worth on a new profile? No rift. I would farm at the start. That's what I would do. Get into farming. On this profile, I got into mining really fast, but since then, they've made mining a lot harder to get into, mainly because Gemstone Gauntlet sucks now. So it's better to do farming first and then buy a mining setup. But anyways, good. How you doing? I'm doing great, man. Thanks for asking. The leaderboard for gemstone powder? Maybe. Not in game, but like in the Discord bot, there might be one. But anywho. Why handicap yourself by not doing rifts? Some people think it's boring. Some people do. I don't. But some people do. I mean, compared to farming and mining, I find it a lot more entertaining. But, which, I mean, if you're doing time-out mining, I could see how that would get a little boring. But, like, Slayers is still pretty strong, too, so. And it doesn't take that long to get into. Rift is the worst thing in Minecraft as a whole. Mods, can we ban that guy? Crazy. Rather max crop milestones than do rifts? That's wild. I mean, I guess it's expected for people to be crazy. We are SkyBlock players, so, you know. This Fiesta, I think I'll hit 100 mil gold collection. Bro's cooking. Also, the economy after 10 Fiestas and an influx of RNGs on the auction house. I mean, I still... How much are handles at now? H search. Doot. Man, that is a lot of handles. There's 2 pages of handles right now. They're down to 800 mil. Man, that is kind of wild. I was selling handles like 2 months ago for over 900 mil a piece. Which is kind of insane. Stake mining is really fun. Yeah, if you've got a friend to do it with, that's definitely a lot of fun. I don't love doing it solo, but with a friend, it's good. Thank you, Zao. Appreciate it, man. What's up, Battle? How you doing? Gonna be live for this one? Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry I missed the first Fiesta. I was gonna stream for it, but I had to take longer to make that attribute video than I thought I would. I thought I'd have it recorded in like half an hour, and it took me an hour to record that. Plus, I also had to wait in queue like an hour longer than I thought I would, and it took me a lot longer to actually research all the information as well. So I had to, you know, before I recorded that video, I looked through the whole attributes menu and like tried to figure out the ones that were actually good and stuff. So it was a lot of work for that one, but worth it. Yeah, probably snipes. Thing is, the update didn't drop yet. Why would it price drop? It kind of makes me mad. I mean, the price of handles has been going down quite a bit recently. Just because of the lack of inflation. Because generally, what it was before slime minions got nerfed, there was so much inflation. And a lot of it, like literally 40% of inflation in this game was because of slime minions. So when they nerfed slime minions, now minions are like, most people use minions to sell to Bazaar in most scenarios. So the only coins really being generated right now are, I mean, minions insta-selling if you do that. So some people do still use slime minions, which they are still really good. But it's like minions for that. I mean, Scorpius, when he comes around, a bunch of people get 1,000,000 coins. It's not really that much. People that mine like rubies and stuff, you still sell that to NPC. And I mean, farming, some things get sold to NPC, but most money making in the game now is selling to other players. So there's not really that many coin generators going around. So it's just kind of like deflation, which can be a good thing. If you were rich before, now you're even richer. But if you invested that into stuff, then you're going to be poorer. The Fiesta start, it starts in like 30 seconds. I have a good one, Hypixel. What's stopping me from making 300 magma rods and getting like 344 fishing speed trophy hunter rods? I believe they have to be inferno rods for them to be counted as a god roll. I don't think magma rods count. And am not sure, but it might be the same thing with glowstone gauntlets. Like, it has to be a vanquish gauntlet for it to count. But from what I've heard, that's what I've been told. Yo, let's go. Perfect timing. Mineshaft right as Fiesta starts. And we get extra mining fortune from the magic 8-ball. All right, we're cooking. We are cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, magma rods don't count, but I know hellfires count, and I'm not sure about inferno rods. I think inferno rods count. But yeah. Do. Forging fortune and forging wisdom, dang. Haven't slept since last at 6 a.m. Bruh, goodness. I would rather stare at my screen and grind social XP by being AFK for hours a day than doing Rift. That's crazy. I don't believe you. I don't believe it for a moment. Alright, let's do this. Inferno works at least right now. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we get some nerfs to it. Bro, stop. Man's got a short bow. Like, what? But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we get some nerfs to feathers. I think, from what I've heard, feathers drop from Kudra. That's what I've heard. I haven't seen any pictures, though. So I'm not 100% certain. But that is what I have heard. And in that scenario, I mean, Kudra's still going to make a ton of money. But realistically, this update's probably going to make, like, a lot of methods pretty much, like, a decent amount. I mean, they're not going to be worse. It's just RNG drops are going to be cheaper. Because realistically, if you're running, like, the same amount of, you know, M7s as you normally would, you're still going to make the same amount of money because you're going to be dropping more handles. It's just the handles will be selling for less. So it's just like, that part's kind of meh as far as that's concerned. I do think they're going to have to, like, buff some moneymakers, like, by selling NPC moneymakers. Like, buff the amount that foraging things sell to NPC or something like that. Fiesta happening? Yep, just started 2 minutes ago. Scrolls will go up. I mean, possibly. It's not even just the feathers I'm worried about. Like, feathers, I mean, that's going to be a big deal at the start. I don't think there'll be that much of a deal later on. Like, they're still going to be, you know, in the game. But I don't think, you know, there'll be nearly as much of an influx of them. If they're a rare enough drop, then they shouldn't be. It just depends on how rare they are. But I'm more talking about, like, there's an attribute shard that increases your RNG meter by, like, 10%. Like, the amount that you get for your RNG meter. Whenever you gain RNG meter XP, you get it 10% faster at all times for every single meter. So, that's the one I'm kind of a little more worried about. Like, I know that doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but, like, over time, that's going to be a big deal. And, I mean, if all the money methods that everyone's doing, because realistically this update is going to make a lot of methods that people like to do right now that are RNG based, it's going to make them easier to access because you're going to be doing more damage thanks to attributes. It's going to make those methods make less money because there's more people doing it. I mean, it's not going to make them make less money again. They shouldn't make that much less money. It's just like your RNG drops will be worth less, but you're going to be getting more. Like, not worthless, but they'll be worth less than they are. And but you'll be getting more RNG drops, so it should balance out on that part. So that part should be fine. It's just the fact that more and more people are going to be able to get into it, and that's the part that's going to make it start making less money. Gemstone prices are so cooked because of coal. It do go crazy. People haven't seen the new Rift transferable talisman, the one with puff cruxes. Nani? Yo, Pab with 16 bits. Can we get some W's in the chat? Appreciate it, Pab. How you doing this morning? Feel like the attribute grinding will be the new best money-making method? It's possible. I mean, that is true. Like, you know, with even if handles go down in price, there are some attributes that are only dropped from M7. So those attributes will be making bank for people who can do M7. Be chillin'. Love to see it. Love to see it. Let's go. Last Fiesta 4 bangs in a row. Lost 120 million keys. Bruh. Yikes. But there's a new Rift transferable talisman with puff cruxes. There is? What is that from? I haven't even seen that. Apparently I needed 16 more bits to the next badge. Yo, let's go. Bro's got the badge now. Cooking. I've been playing any more Night Rain. I finally beat the second boss yesterday, which wasn't actually the second boss. It was the third boss because I was playing with a friend who had beat the second one. So we decided to do the third one instead. So I still haven't beat the Gaping Jaw or whatever his name is because he's a pain. He is a pain. That is like, I don't know. He looks like the hardest boss from the ones that I've seen. I mean, the Frost Dragon looks pretty tough too, but he looks like insane. I can send a screenshot when I get into alpha. Sounds good. Which, yeah, I mean, right now the alpha is like, it's got a long queue still, but it's not that bad compared to what it has been. So, which, I mean, that's probably because there's a bunch of people doing Mining Fiesta. And once Fiesta's over, I'm sure it'll go back up to over 1,000, but who knows? Excited for Jade Dragon? I'm not, I mean, the perks don't look that great. I'm going to be honest. They don't look, like, insane. Which, I mean, considering the other foraging pets, I guess, but, like, he looks comparable to Frog Pet, which should not be the case. I feel like a Dragon Pet should be by far the best pet for its skill. And it doesn't look like that much better than Frog Pet. So. But yeah. Oh, are we calling him Jared? So we've got Greg for G-Dragon. We're calling him Jared for J-Dragon. That's crazy. That's crazy. They should have created just a special cosmetic look for the 10-10 God Rolls and kept the feathers away from the game. I mean, I don't think the feathers are going to be that big a deal as far as the God Rolls go. Like, what you're getting back for God Rolls, that part, like, it could be nerfed a little bit. But realistically, if the feathers had just been made for, like, the start, like, just for God Rolls, and they weren't, like, a drop from Kudra or anything, then I don't think it'd be that big of a problem. Like, everyone's freaking out about that. It's going to be bad, like, for the first couple days. But, I mean, again, it's just, like, a one-time influx into the economy. It's going to be, like, Raffle, you know? I don't think it would be that much worse than Raffle. It'd be, like, a bunch of things get added in for, like, maybe a week. And then after that, they'll go back up in price. So, like, people, I think, I think feathers, like, a lot of people are overreacting to those. I don't think they're that big a deal as far as the God Roll turn in. It depends on how rare they are from Kudra on whether it's a big deal after that point. But, I mean, most of the meter that it turns in is, like, even if it is from Kudra, they're going to be super expensive. And that's going to mean Kudra still makes money. So the Kudra players should be happy off that. And then, like, it's going to make, you know, getting burgers a lot easier from Rift. It's just going to make everyone's grinds easier. Which, granted, means that RNG drops are going to go down in price. So for the people that use those things as money methods, it sounds bad. But there's also other things that increase, you know, your RNG meter and stuff. So you're going to be getting more drops. So even though the price of the drops goes down, you'll be getting more of the drops. So it will kind of balance out on that front. So I don't think that part's going to be that bad. I mean, every time anything gets changed with, like, RNG and, you know, anything like that, it's going to be, people panic every time. That's just how it is. Everybody panics. And once it gets added into the game, it's never as bad as everyone thinks it's going to be. It never is. And if it is, they'll change it. If it's really completely terrible and everyone hates it, it will get changed. Do not worry. Yo, what's good, MSG? It's going pretty good. How you doing today, bro? Every time I see the bell-bearing hunter, I be turning around legit, bro. He's so scary. I get goofy teammates. Got to get Hex on the game for real, man. Yeah, queuing with randoms is pain. It is pain on Night Rain. Very much. How do you look without the glasses? You'll never know. You'll never know. Feathers obtainable other ways than God Roll. I believe it's only obtainable from Kudra. That's what I've heard. But I mean, we won't really know until it gets added to the wiki. But I believe it's only obtainable from that. So, I mean, with attributes just being fully removed from Kudra, I mean, it's not fully removed, but, like, the amount of attributes being greatly decreased from Kudra, I think it's gonna, you know, at least make Kudra still make some money. So hopefully it balances out and means Kudra makes similar amounts of coins. At least if you're dropping those. Plus there is a new sword that you can drop from Kudra that's better than Claymore. So, and there's actually kind of a reason to go for swords now because of the axe that like absorbs swords. But there's not really that much of a reason if you're rich, because if you have a an emerald blade with a bunch of money, then that's enough. Have you seen that they're adding augments to Pred? Some of them are absolutely wild. I've like seen the titles. Like I see, you know, it pop up on my phone that Paper made a tweet talking about it. I haven't actually really watched it because I haven't played Pred in months, man. Whenever the last time that we played was, that was the last time I played Pred. What does J-Drag do? It's just, it's like a bunch of buffs for foraging. So you get like extra foraging fortune and stuff like that. Aurora will be so bad because no mana pool anymore. It will cost much more to be better than Storm. Yeah, I think Aurora definitely could use a buff. For sure. That is one of the big things. Like, I believe the admins have said like a while back that they wanted Kudra armor sets to be the best ones in the game. Like, inarguably the best ones. So, I do think that they could use some buffs. Specifically for Aurora, I feel like most of the other ones are all right. Like, Crimson is still way better than Necron. Terror's way better than Maxor. You know, all those. And then, like, Fervor and Hollow are just trash because no one uses them. Same thing for Goldor armor, though, you know? So, I think those are in an alright spot. It's just RIP to the people who had, you know, Godroll Hollow armor. Unlucky. Fiesta causes so much lag. It's not been too bad for me at the moment. After this update, we need a Crimson Isle gear rework. I think it's just Aurora. I think everything else is fine. Like, Molten is completely useless. I mean, most equipment pieces for combat are a lot more underwhelming now. For sure, but they're not useless. They're definitely not useless. Like, a lot of more people will be running that gear now. Although, I guess Lava Shell Necklace, I don't know. Lava Shell Necklace might just get completely thrown under the bus now. Because people were using that for Lifeline, and Lifeline does give a 25% damage increase, but Dominance gives 15%, so it's like, you're really going to go through all the work of Lifelining to get 10% damage increase? Is it really worth it? I don't think it will be. Godroll Hollow doesn't count. I'm not sure. But, like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, if you had Godroll Aurora and upgraded it to Infernal, then it's still the best mage set in the game. Whereas if you had Godroll Hollow, and I don't know if you get feathers for it, if you had Mana Pool, Mana Regen, Hollow, then you just have an Infernal Hollow set that's not good at anything afterwards. Emperor Skulls are 3 mil a piece. Oh my goodness. I need to make sure. I have a diver set. I do have a diver set, so I do need to make sure I set that aside for somewhere, though. Pebble will use for mining. When cast fishing rod, equip bow. When gain XP in Glaciite tunnels, equip Skatha. And when gain XP in Glaciite mine shafts, equip Glaciite golem. Do. But yeah, like Wither Goggles right now, outclass Infernal Aurora helmet, right? Because Goggles has 5% more ability damage. Yeah, I think it will. So Aurora definitely needs a buff, but I think the rest of the armor sets are fine where they are. Actually, not just BLC profit per hour during Fiestas. Just want to know what I do compared to your setup. I mean, most of the time, thing is, like, you know, I am streaming. I'm not paying that much attention. So it really depends on glossy rates. If I get good glossies, which let me actually check how we're doing on those. We're at 3 right now. It's been 15 minutes and we're at 3. So at that rate, we're going to be getting like 6 glossies an hour. No, that's not right. 12 glossies an hour. Which is not great. It's like 6. Is that right? 30 million coins from glossies or something per hour. Plus gemstones is generally somewhere about 50 mil. So gemstones alone I make around 50 mil, and then you add in glossies, and just depending on that RNG it can be a lot more. But Crimson will be the same as it's only giving Magic Find and Vet. Yeah, generally, yeah. Like, just Crimson is so strong. It's, like, so good. Even without attributes. Got a diver set yesterday. I knew it was probably already up, but it was going to keep getting more expensive. Yeah, if you didn't have one, it's definitely worth getting. Unless they leave the bug right now. There is a bug. It's not really a bug. It's just kind of like something that works that probably shouldn't work. If you wear a cheap tuxedo and a Reaper mask, then you can just out heal all the damage you take from pressure because it's percentage based. So it's like, it's kind of crazy. How much better is Devon's drill? Like, compared to 655, it is, like, it's not that much. I make maybe, like, 5 mil more an hour from Fiesta. Maybe. Let's see. It's 2B Magic Find. That's me, bro. That's me. I don't know if that Magic Find's gonna matter after this update, but we'll see. I think we'll still be good. Dropping handles is still gonna be epic when it happens. Actually legendary, but using Devon and Jasper drill, and by doing a mining fortune, is that right? Mining fortune Picoblis route, I can get pretty close to your rates depending on glossies. Yeah, it's always glossies. So generally I try to aim for 50 glossies, but I probably average more around 45 per Fiesta. So, you know, if we just divide that, somewhere around 20 glossies an hour is my average. Something like that, we'll say. So generally off that, that's, you know, like, what, 40 mil an hour? Is that right? Plus 50 mil from this. So I usually make over somewhere around 200 mil per Fiesta. Something like that. It also, again, depends on if I get crystals. Because last Fiesta, the first Fiesta, I was editing, like, in between. I probably only really mined for like an hour and a half of it, but I still dropped like 34 glossies, and I got 3 Peridot crystals, so was kind of cooking. It's good. DKs, how you doing, bro? Is 479 mana better than 5% ability damage? That is a good question. That's a good question. Because of glossy price, I'm only making 180 to 200 mil per hour Fiesta. Yeah, or 200 mil per Fiesta. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little worse. Update's been a while since I played. We're talking about the foraging update. It is real. It is on the alpha right now. So, it's been on there for a couple days. I've made a couple videos about it, so we're just kind of talking about the effects that it's going to have. Because honestly, the biggest part of the foraging update isn't even the foraging side of things. They kind of just put like some base foraging stuff in there, and then made a hunting update, which is really cool. That's the coolest part of it, in my opinion. But how expensive is glossy during Fiesta? They're like 2 mil a piece right now, right? Something like that. Yeah, about 2 mil. Right on the dots. It'll be worth making Infernal Crimson as Essence is worth less right now. It's a question of whether it's better to wait or to do it now while prices are already low, because Kudra is basically getting double the essence drops, which is kind of insane. But you know, it might be worth. So it's just whether or not you should do it now or later. But Infernal Crimson is still going to be very, very strong, so definitely worth getting it at some point. Gold good to mine during Fiesta? It's alright. It's not as good as glossies in my experience, but it just depends on your RNG and your ping a little bit, and just what gear you have. So generally Iron Man players will mine gold because it's better to sell to NPC, so it's their best money method. But everybody else, generally glossies make more. I haven't really seen much about forging update, but will it be good for Iron Man money? No, it doesn't look like it will. It does not look like it, at least not at the current stage, which again, this is part 1. For those of you that don't know, this is Island 1, Galatia, or, you know, it's pronounced differently. I'm pronouncing it the way I want to because I can. Galatia. It's the 2B pronunciation. Basically, it's the first part of the forging update, and there's going to be 3 total islands. So, right now we have one of them. So if the first one made the most money in the game and then they had to add in 2 more after that, then that would be Not great. It's kind of what they had to do with mining. That's why mining got nerfed a few times, was because it made crazy money when it first came out. And then they had to add even better money methods and even better and better money methods. And so instead of just making the amount of money mining made, like 100 mil an hour for every single method at minimum, they nerfed them. So that is what they would have to do if forging made great money right now. So hopefully they'll do something in the future that'll make it better, you know, on the future islands. But for right now, it's not going to be great for Iron Man. But I'm sorry to hear that, Alana. When was the last time you went on vacation? September, I guess. Went on vacation September. I had recorded like a week's worth, because that was when the mining revamp came out. So I had recorded like a week's worth of videos, and so I was just watching those go up while I was on vacation. That was so cool because I wasn't even home, and those 3 videos that I uploaded that week are in my top 5 most viewed of all time. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Who's the best streamer except you? Oh, hold up. Vang. Stream. Let's see. Stream open. Let's see. Let's get Flame. Doots. Let's get Stew. Anyone else? Yo, chill. Battle. All right, there we go. Beautiful. Yoink. All right, congratulations, guys. I'm actually annoyed that I got this because I don't need it, but I'll just do that. Wow. It is satisfying. And then I'm leaving. That's the wrong button. There we go. Nice. Doot. All right, moving on. Let's see. Think it would be better for Iron Man after update. Kudra, is that what we're talking about? It's bad for Iron Man because they need to grind tons of Kudra runs. Yeah. No, I mean, basically what this does is, like, it used to be you'd have to grind tons of Kudra runs as Iron Man, and it was really difficult because, of course, getting all the gear for Kudra is a pain. But that would be because, you know, you wanted all the god rolls on Iron Man. You needed all the Kudra cores and all that stuff. Okay, this lobby is trash. Let me swap. But basically what this update does is, first off, it adds attributes you can get outside of Kudra that make doing Kudra even easier, which is good. And also, you can craft most of the things that you needed from Kudra, the attributes. Most of the things that you needed, you can fuse together from other attributes. So you will need to run Kudra for the vitality shards and stuff. But because of the attributes and things that they've added, it's going to be a lot easier to do. For Iron Man players, at least. Like, the top tier players probably are going to get similar damage. Like, a fully maxed out player right now will probably do slightly more damage than a fully maxed out player once the update drops. But, so they're not going to notice. They're going to notice, like, a slight damage decrease. But for everybody else, like a mid-game player right now, can't do Kudra. I mean, still mid-game. We'll say late game. Late game player right now who can like barely do Kudra will be able to do it somewhat comfortably after the update once they get all the good attributes. So that'll be nice. I think Kudra will make the most amount of money it would have made before the new update. I think it's going to depend on feather rates, because from what I've heard, the feathers you get for god rolls drop from Kudra as well. So depending on how common those are, it could still make the same money. And I mean, whether they're rare or not, honestly, it should still make the same money. It's just it might be more RNG dependent, you know, like right now you make a ton of money from Kudra no matter what. You should still make a ton of money from Kudra no matter what, but right now there's a bunch of different RNGs you can get, so odds are you're going to get one like every 100 runs or so. Whereas after this update, who knows, you may not drop a feather for 200 runs, or you may drop one every 10 runs. Who knows? Feathers make dungeons and slayers make less money forever. Again, it's going to make the RNG drops worth less. Yo, Psycho, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, it's going to make RNG drops worth less than they are right now. But that doesn't mean that the method's going to make less money. It just because everyone's going to be dropping more of those RNG drops. So, you know, you're going to be making less money per RNG drop, but you're going to be dropping so many RNGs that it should be about the same that it is now for most methods. But, yeah. You changed to 1.21 permanently or just while playing on the new foraging island? Probably just while playing on the new foraging island. For the most part, which I mean, a lot of my content for the next couple months will probably be foraging related. At least for the next month after, or for the month after it comes out. It's going to be a lot of stuff foraging related. So who knows the next time that I'll play 1.8. Because I'll probably play 1.8 whenever I do Kudra. And whenever I do Dungeons. That's probably the only time I'll play 1.8 after this. Do you know if Furfsky will update 1.25? I have no idea, man. What's new max level? I know it's over 500. From what I've heard, it's like 516, 517. That was from like day one though, so there may have been more XP discovered. So it could be over 520, which would be insane because that would be a whole new prefix. But they're adding like over 40 levels with this update. Kind of crazy. Got limited 3 minutes before Fiesta, built another route, and then some guy came and destroyed all my cobble, built another route, bruh. Yeah, this is why I don't like doing routes. That's why we do mine shafts. I don't gotta worry about getting griefed. So much nicer. Any EU developers said they want to update to 1.20? Yeah, haven't they said that for a while? I don't think that was new information. One of my friends changed their user on SPZ to foraging update equals no economy. Yeah, man, everybody's panicking. Per usual. It's just what happens with big updates. It's just the fact that we haven't had a big, like, huge game-changing update in so long. Like, everyone was freaking out whenever Crimson Isles dropped, man. Everybody was freaking out. Because, oh no, Dungeons isn't going to make as much money. Because you're going to need attributes for all this stuff. That wasn't how it worked first off, but, I mean, even for equipment. You know, everyone was freaking out because you're going to need attributes for equipment and all this stuff to be good at Dungeons. Like, it's not that big a deal. It's really not. The game's still going to be fun. Your favorite money method might not make as much, but most scenarios here, most of the methods are going to be fine. You may notice like a 1 or 2 mil difference for most things. I don't think there's really any methods that are getting destroyed by this update. In all honesty. Like, there's going to be a lot of changing around. But realistically, it's just adding a new money method with attributes. Fact check equipment came out with the Isle update. I got you. Oh, yeah, because that had just gotten added. That's true. That's true. But I mean, people were freaking out about Crimson Isle and attributes and everything. Like, if you don't have attributes, if you don't have the new gear, you're going to be trash. You know? It's like, that's how it is whenever anything gets added. You're not going to be able to make money from Slayers unless you have Infernal Crimson. Now make me mod. I'm good. Doo-doo-doo-doot. Using DLC feels so good because optimization with their monster is bad. I disagree, man. I'm like, what mods do we not have? Probably count them on one hand. Okay, maybe not, but maybe 2 hands. Let's talk about good mods that actually get used. You know? There are definitely some mods that we have that are not like ideal. I would say a lot of the profit calculators are off most of the time. Is a big issue, but Jerry Mayer nods. Cole right now. We're getting Jerry though in 3 days. This guy has precise burrow guess. I mean, I feel like BLCs is pretty accurate most of the time. And we also have the warps. We have the warps for Diana too. Wonder if I'll have 4 perk Cole after Jerry. Bruh. If we end up with another Cole after Jerry, I don't know. That'd be kind of wild. When y'all think the update's dropping though? That's what I'm curious about. Because I'm hoping for Tuesday. Tuesday would be great. But I think they would have announced maintenance by now, if that were the case. So I don't think it's going to be Tuesday. But hopefully next Tuesday. I feel like that's not too far out of reach. 3 to 5 business days. Yeah, I think I don't know. I might be on copium. It might be 2-3 weeks from now. Low key. After Jerry to avoid breakdown. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's do this. Yeah, imagine like, I wonder how it works. Like if you hunt a mob, can you get, I guess you could get a Jerry to spawn from hunting a mob. I guess that's a thing that can happen. Oh my goodness, why is that so loud? Hold up. I think, yeah, friendly creatures is cranked, bro. Calm it down. What mods do you use? Because the ones I use haven't made versions for 1.21.5 or whatever. I'm using BLC. So we got all the fancy mods. Who's your favorite streamer? I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch streams that much. Generally, if I have time to watch a stream, I also have time to stream. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't really watch streams too much. When I do watch streams, I usually watch like Cypher PK or Tim the Tapman. I do watch Tim the Tapman sometimes. Sometimes I'll be feeling a little bit of queso, you know? That as well. Need Forging Mayor now? What would a Forging Mayor even do? It's like so many things they could do. We are doing a 24-hour stream when this update drops, by the way, just so everyone's aware. When Forging drops, I will be streaming for 24 hours straight. I'll do it. I'm planning on having a couple videos pre-made to go out while the stream's going on. So I'll have at least one video go up while I'm streaming. Probably for the quest line. I'll have a video go up for the quest line while I'm live. Like the minute the update drops, I'll post that. And then, or probably the minute maintenance goes down. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll post that, and then once the update drops, depending on how long maintenance is, I may not start the 24-hour stream till after it's already out. We shall see. But yeah. Hunting and Forging Perk Mayor would be cool. Yeah, hunting Mayor, that'd go wild. Best thing to do when Jerry arrives? I mean, it's different for everybody. It just depends on what you need to grind. Jerry really just makes, like, most things just make more money. So, as long as you're doing something that kills mobs or gives you some kind of skill XP, then you should be spawning Jerrys while you're doing it. So, it's just kind of do what you would want to do because of the mayors. And then just make extra money from it, pretty much. I think when the 1.21 update drops, many people will swap to BLC because of the mods already being done for the first couple months. Yeah, I think BLC's got a big opportunity here, and hopefully they can capitalize on it, get some banger mods, banger updates. I know they had an update earlier today, which was hopefully fixing some of the bugs. Apparently, like, I was having some massive frame drops when I was playing on 1.21. But apparently you either just need to reload textures is what you needed to do. That's what Swavey did in his video and it worked. So I probably needed to do that. But also they did have an update today. So hopefully that was fixing some of those frame rate issues. So you won't have to get your own workarounds and such anymore. Would it be possible to get 0.4 second T4 voids with the new attributes? I don't know. I have no idea, man. There are a lot of attributes that increase damage. Like, I know there's an attribute that increases your strength and your crit damage by like 1.5% if you've got like all 3 of those attributes maxed. So that's a pretty significant increase right there. There's a bunch of them that there's one elite that increases your damage to bosses and mini bosses by 30%. There's warrior, which increases your melee damage by 25%. So honestly, I think a lot of slayers are going to be a lot more trivial after this. So it kind of makes sense that they would wait until foraging to add T5s, because then they'll give us some time to stock up on the new attributes that increase your damage. And then when T5s drop, we'll be somewhat ready for them. Yeah, they just, like, a bunch of people get mineshafts at the same time, and they have to set a queue for it to open up all the mineshaft servers. Bow attribute's gonna go burr in M7. It is. Yeah, the bow attribute, and again, I mean, the elite attribute that works on bosses and mini bosses, that should also work on Kudra, or not Kudra. I mean, it will work on Kudra too, but it will also work in dungeons. So all these attributes, really, the money makers here are going to be the M7 players, I think. Like, Kudra should make pretty similar amounts, I think. It might be slightly less, depending on feathers. But M7 player is going to make bank, because there is, like, the attributes that increase your strength and crit damage by a percentage. Those are dropped from M7. So, a lot of the goated attributes that you can craft as well are required. Like the fusions, you need those drops from M7. So M7 players are going to make bank from attributes. So we are going to be chilling on all that. Got 6 glosses right now. Let's go. We'll see what we're at after we get out of this mineshaft. Think Slayer boss drops are going to go down? Yeah, I mean, again, I think most of the boss drops that are related to RNG meters will go down. Partially because bosses will be able to be taken down faster. And also because of all the, like, attributes that increase RNG meter rates, and, like, the new feathers from God Rolls and Kudra and all that stuff that increase your RNG meter. So because of those, RNG drops will go down. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the money, like, the amount of money you can make from the Slayer will go down. Because people are still going to be buying those drops. They'll just be buying them for less because there will be so many of them. But even though your single drops are going to go for less, you're going to be dropping more of them, because you're going to be getting more kills per hour. You're going to be getting, you know, higher magic find, higher RNG rates and all this stuff. I don't know if magic find's actually higher, but higher RNG meter and all that stuff. So the price of judgment cores, handles, all this stuff will probably go down, but you should still be making the same amount of money per hour, because you'll be dropping more of those drops. Oh, these changes are just making it harder for Iron Man players to do Blaze Slayer? No, they're making it easier. Nani? Iron Man players, like, now, like, a lot of these attributes, like, again, like, the ones that increase your damage and crit damage and all that stuff, that's not necessary to do Blaze Slayer. The fact is, to do Blaze Slayer before, you had to be able to do Kudra. And now, after this, you're still going to need Crimson Armor, but you can get a lot of the attributes that increase your damage and all this stuff for not too difficult. Like, the one that increases your melee damage by 25% is just from, like, killing the Barb Duke or hunting the Barb Duke, either one. So, like, that's going to be very strong, and it's not going to be that hard to get. So a lot of these things are actually buffs for Iron Man players. It's honestly buffs for most players. I think in-game players, specifically Kudra players, are the ones that are just getting, like, damage nerfs out of this update. So Kudra's going to be slower, but everything else should be faster and easier to get into. So that is the big part where things might start making less money, because a lot more people are going to be able to do a lot more things. Like, right now, it's very difficult to get into Kudra. It's very difficult to get into M7. It's still going to be very difficult to get into those, but it's going to be slightly easier. So there will be a decent amount more players that are able to get into that type of thing a bit quicker. M7, or not M7, F7 will be a bit easier to get into. You'll be able to get faster runs as well. So I think it's definitely going to be, like, a lot easier for a lot more players to do a lot more things. And I know a lot of people are upset about that, but I don't think it's making it, like, so much easier that it's a problem. I think it's a good thing, honestly, if a lot of these things are a bit easier to get into, because, you know, a lot of people quit SkyBlock because it's so difficult and it takes so much time to get into, like, the fun stuff. like Kudra and dungeons and all this stuff. So now, with all these attributes being added to make things easier to get into, Blaze Slayer, whatever you think is fun, generally this update is going to make it easier to get into, so it's going to be a lot nicer for the player base, I think. Why Wild Pet for Pico ability? Because it has the ability cooldown is one of its perks. Do you know when / if Furfsky will release 1.20? I have no idea, man. I got no clue. All right, let's see what we're at for glossies. Please open the right sack this time. Thank you. We're at 12 right now. It's been 40 minutes, and we're at 12. That's not... yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm trying to get 20 an hour. I need to be getting 8 in the next 20 minutes. I don't know if that's happening or not. 12, I'm still at 3. My fault. My fault. It's really late for me, so by it's like 10 p.m. All right, sleep good, man. All right, have a good one, MSG. Appreciate you, bro. But anywaysers, my RNG is always terrible with glossies. It do be a grind. It do be a grind. Yeah, there is a lot less vitality in the game. That is true. But they did add a perk with True Defense. So I think that'll probably cancel that out for Blaze Slayer, because True Defense helps a lot. I think it gives like, I think 10 True Defense if you max it out. Question is how hard that attribute is to get. I can't remember. So I didn't go over that one yesterday. I just saw that it was a thing. But True Defense is a way more important stat for Blaze Slayer than Vitality is in most scenarios. So you can just have every attribute active now. Yes. Once the update drops. It's not on the main server yet. It's still on alpha. But once that happens, yeah. Blaze Slayer will low-key be harder since Vitality won't be as good. I mean, again, Vitality won't be as good, but there is the True Defense stuff. And also, all these things that increase your damage also increase the amount of healing that you're getting from Siphon and Lifeline, or Lifesteal, I mean, and all this stuff. So, also, I mean, you're not going to have as much Vitality, but nobody uses Vitality health regen builds right now. So after this update, you're going to have health regen as an attribute too. And I think there's multiple attributes that give health regen. So even though you're going to have less Vitality, you're going to have those other attributes too. So it should be easier. And again, you're getting the True Defense as well. So might need to change Crimson Gemstones to Opals. I don't think you'll need to. And again, all these ones that increase your damage increase the amount of Siphon and stuff you're getting. So you'll just need to go for more than just Vitality Shards. Vitality Shard, very chill for dungeons as a tank. Yeah, I mean, doing dungeons now is going to be so much easier with all these attributes. No matter what class or floor you play. It's going to be so nice for dungeon players, this update. What they do to Wheel of Fates. So Wheel of Fates are going to be like a Kismet Feather is right now. But you're going to like... what's it called? You're going to like re-roll just the shard. So... normally when you do Kudra right now, you guaranteed drop Vitality Shards, and you can also drop like a random other Crimson Isle shard. But, you know, some Crimson Isle shards are common. So if you roll a common shard, you can use the Wheel of Fate and maybe roll a legendary, or it could just end up being an uncommon shard. So if you, generally I think you'll mainly use it if you get an epic shard and re-roll it to a legendary, will probably be the strat. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Isn't there a no KB attribute? There is a no KB attribute. So that's also going to be nice for Iron Man players, because you get that from the sea turtle, from catching the sea turtle, which is going to be a little bit tougher, but you won't have to worry about like waiting until a Diana happens. Because I know there's been times where Diana didn't get elected for months. So new Iron Man players just had to deal with knockback for months. And now you'll at least have the option. It'll be difficult because you'll need like some pretty solid diver's armor and stuff, but you'll have the option to go and get that no KB. And that's also going to be nice because you'll be able to fish once you have it with no KB without having to put a Shellmet on your pet, on your fishing pet. But yeah, it's going to be very nice. Shellmet's finally gone. Yeah, Shellmets are going to be kind of worthless after this update. Just kind of crazy. 07s to the Shellmet days, dude. Kudra be making still a lot of money because of the feathers and shards. Yeah, Kudra should still be making quite a bit. I don't know if it'll be the same rates. It might be a lot more RNG dependent than it is right now. But I think generally it'll be making pretty good money still. It's just the main issue you'll have is like the armor pieces will not sell as much as they do right now, probably. Because there's going to be an overflux of people selling all those armor pieces that they have stocked up right now. But it could end up selling for a bit, at least when it first starts, because now a lot of people will be able to get into Kudra a lot easier because of the attributes. So there's a lot of things that could happen, but I think the armor pieces going down in price is just inevitable, because pretty much anything that's not Crimson is mostly useless at this point. Like, Aurora isn't that much better than Storm, and unless you're getting into Kudra, Terror isn't used for anything other than, like, dragons, I guess, if you're a dragon sweat. But for most people, it's going to be Crimson armor is the only Kudra armor. Is regular Crimson armor good, or you need Fiery? I mean, base Crimson is decent. It's not better than Necron armor, though. I think base Crimson is better than Necron after you get it to hot tier, I want to say. Or like right before hot tier, something like that. Why will Shelmets be bad? Because they're adding an attribute shard that gives you knockback resistance. So you'll have 100% knockback resistance without having a Shelmet on your pet. Yo, what's good? What's up? How you doing, bro? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Buying a whole bunch of pieces for attributes, and we'll also getting a bunch of Rampart pieces, mainly for all the attributes. Yeah. It's not a bad strat. I have I gotta show you guys my stash. I literally have, I think, probably at least 30, if not like 40 chests full of Kudra gear / Rampart pieces. And then there's some that are like slug armor and like fishing gear and stuff. And glowstone gauntlets and magma belts. I got so much stuff, dude. Glad to hear it. What's up? Let's go. Yog's always knocking me away when I'm mining, so that'll be really nice. You'll love to see it. Yeah, the just permanent anti-KB is going to be crazy. No Pro 5 reviews today? Nah, I was going to do some, but the mining Fiesta ended up being today, and I wanted to stream that more, so figured we'd do that. Plus, I think talking about foraging is probably more interesting right now because there's so much cool stuff in that update. But it's going to be lit. I can't wait for it to drop, dude. 5 Shelmet G-Drag, I just have to swap it to Remedies, though, unless 3 G-Drags, you get what I mean? Yeah, true. So I'm currently leveling my 2nd G-Drag, and I was going to put a Shelmet on it. But after this update, I will not have to. I'm probably just going to put a Relic on him, so that he'll be like my Magic Find G-Drag for when we do Slayers and stuff, or if I Magic Find swap. So that's the plan for him right now. Do we know what attribute in the main game gives the no KB attribute? Like on alpha? No, you can't get it right now. It's nothing from the main game. You have to wait till that update drops because it's from capturing the sea turtle. So I don't think there's anything in the game right now. Because right now, yo, YoGoU, thank you for the sub, appreciate it, man. But right now I think there's, I can't remember. I want to say there's like 70 or 80 attributes in the game or something like that. And after the update drops, there will be 178 attributes. It's like 178 or 176, something like that. Over 175 attributes. So they're adding like nearly 100 of them. So a lot of them you can't get at the moment. But again, boys, if y'all haven't already, make sure to smash that sub button. I will be uploading a lot more guides for foraging related things. Yo, Triple I, thanks for the sub. Hey, let's go. And we are closing in on 25k subs. Plus, if we do manage to get to red name, the next time an alpha opens, I'll actually be able to skip it. Because for this alpha, I had to wait, on day 1, I had to wait like 2.5 hours. Okay, I'm swapping lobbies. This one's bad. Too laggy. But I had to wait so long on day 1. Y'all know. If you were there, if you know, you know. It was rough. Burning Crimson is better than Necron, not Hot Crimson. Ah, I gotcha. Yeah, I guess especially after attributes get removed. That's the main reason Hot Crimson was viable, was because attributes, and now if you don't have any. That's true. Level 500 confirmed. It is confirmed. At the moment, from what I've seen, at least 43 levels are being added. So 516 might be max. Yep, it could be max 516, but it might actually be higher than that. So it's kind of crazy. As with old attributes, you'll turn them in and just get like the same attributes back, but in their new form. So you won't need as many of them to max out now, which will be nice. Didoots. Before you could just put Vitality on Hot Crimson, it would be more useful. Yeah. So now it'll be a little bit different. Man, what is with all the Sapphire mines right now? What's going on with that? Alright, let's throw this right there. Beautiful. It's wild. I remember when level 1 came back, or came out, or version 1 came out. Yeah. Crazy stuff, dude. It is kind of crazy. We're up to level 471 right now. The current max is 473. So after this update drops, I mean, we're currently 171st. When this update drops, we're hitting top 100. Like, it's happening. I'm doing a 24-hour stream day 1. There's no way I don't hit top 100. It's just a question of how long we can stay there, because that's going to be difficult. Because everybody else is going to catch up eventually, right? So we just got to make sure we stay on top. It's got to happen. Sapphire's assigned for Sapphire Dragon. I'm curious, like, I guess Sapphire Dragon would be like a fishing pet, right? Feel like blue makes sense for fishing. And then amber could be mining. Like, if they did a mining dragon, how would you get it? Because you get G-Drag from the mining area right now. Would it be like a mine shaft you have to get lucky and find? That would be kind of sick. If it's a mine shaft and there's only 1 egg per mine shaft, so you can either buy it yourself or warp someone else in. That would be kind of cool. That's the new best mining pet. That would be sick. So confused why they named Jake Dragon instead of Jade Dragon instead of Emerald Dragon. I think just cause it's shorter. I don't know. It does cost emeralds. You would think that since they're calling it the Jade Dragon that it would cost jade instead of enchanted emeralds. I feel like that's a no-brainer. Like, the golden dragon costs gold. The Jade Dragon should cost jade, right? Nope, it's emeralds. Okay, then. Fair enough. It is a bit odd. I hadn't thought about that. That is a bit odd. Imagine Sapphire Dragon is a 0.1% chance in Mineshaft. That would be sick, man. I'd be so down for that. Also, the fact that the other dragon is called Golden and not Topaz or Amber, yeah. I mean, it makes sense that he's called Golden because he's, like, revolves around money, you know? Like, he revolves around the money that you have in your purse. So, like, his perks make sense for him to be called Golden Dragon. But the fact that you pay gold to get him and you pay emerald to get the Jade Dragon is kind of odd. Leveling a fishing pet that needs 260 mil fishing XP? Yeah, that's true. That would take a while. But, I mean, we're going to have to level a foraging pet. I don't know if y'all noticed, but you really don't get foraging XP faster from this update. You really don't. It's very similar rates. So, like, they don't even have, like, mining commissions. It's just a daily contest, and I don't think you can get foraging XP for doing that contest. Or at least not much of it. So it's like, this foraging dragon is going to take way too long to upgrade, bro. It's going to be such a pain. All the rates are bad, but once you upgrade, your Heart of the Forest is definitely noticeably faster. That's fair. Yeah. That makes sense. Because there is the foraging wisdom perk in there. That's true. That is true. More to do foraging related to make it seem better? Yeah. I mean, again, I feel like this is the baby foraging update. This is more of the hunting update with, like, a small side of foraging on this, like, small side of foraging. And then, you know, we'll get Foraging Island number 2, and that'll be, like, the real foraging update. And then Foraging Island number 3 will be, like, the late game foraging update. That's what I think will go down, but we'll have to see. But yeah, Surprised they added part of the Forest 7 or Heart of the Forest 7, not just 5 when they're gonna do 2 islands. I mean, they added yo turtle sub, Turtle Master. Thank you for the sub, appreciate it, man. Again, boys, if y'all haven't already, smash that sub button. We're on our way to 30K, so I can skip the update queue on Alpha. Would be fire. But yeah, I mean, I guess when Heart of the Mountain, or yeah, Heart of the Mountain first came out with Dwarven Mines, wasn't level 5 the max, and then they added Crystal Hollows and added level 7. I guess that is how it works. Grouping up on fig trees gives 1000 XP if you're 33%. Group of 3 people and you go from tree to tree. But what if you accidentally do 34% or 35% and then one of your teammates doesn't get 33%, you know? I feel like that's going to be a pretty big issue. It'll probably be duo up, I think. Have all the fish for coral NPC? I do not. I am going to make a video, though, about how to get them all. I made a video a while back talking about all the special fish. So they've added a lot more since then, and a couple of them are from this update. So that'll probably be one of the later guides that I make. The early guides, hold up. I've got a list. Got a list of videos I want to do with this update. So I'll do the quest guide on day 1. I also want to do like a foraging gear guide, which is going to be pretty chill. I don't know. I might combine foraging gear and foraging and hunting. I don't know, because there's really not that much foraging gear. They added like 3 axes and then like the foraging armor. 2 foraging armor sets. So it's like, do I really need to make a whole video about this? I mean, I can talk about the pets as well, I guess, but goodness, did someone get a bang? Yes, they did. Wild. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. So foraging gear, hunting gear. I definitely think hunting gear needs a guide because there's the lassos, there's the hunting nets, there's the black holes, there's like the pressure armor and stuff, you know, which I think, you know, that's part of the hunting side of things. So there's a lot. 24 glossies, bro's cooking. We'll see what we're at after this one. Excuse me. Thank you. Bam, bam. Okay. Let's do this. Beautiful. I'm curious if you play this on 1.21 if the wolves are a different skin, because they're, you know, different skin on the park now. I think it's foraging armor. They didn't really add much else. Yeah. Sorry for all my typos. I'm using voice recognition because I'm mining while I'm watching the stream. Yeah, you're good. I kind of figured. I was like, hold up. Autocorrect is going crazy, or we're using voice recognition. That's what my mom uses to text, so I can kind of recognize it a little bit. Hornhelm's about 120 mil, right? Yeah, 125. Something like that. All right, where were we? Right here. Smack. Nice. Is Monkey Pet still good? That is a good question. I believe the main 2 are going to be Frog Pets and the Jade Dragon, of course. Like, I think Monkey will still be good. But honestly, most people will probably be using Ocelot to try and get that foraging level ASAP. I don't know if throwing Fishing Rod and then swapping to Ocelot whenever you break the logs will work. I need to test some things there for what the strat's going to be. I've delayed getting that for way too long. Need to get it. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some strats. I think Monkey Pet's still good before you get Frog. It gives decently good stats compared to the others. Makes sense. Redstone for Amber Dragon. That would be wacky. Diamonds for Sapphire. Iron for Opal Dragon. For Blaze Slayer because True Defense. That'd be interesting. That would be interesting. I feel like it'd have to be like skill related though. For each one. Opal could be like, I don't know, Enchanting Dragon. Be the enchanting one. My brother wanted to grind Warden Helmet, but he just gave up and bought it. Valid. I'm trying to remember what grind I was on like that. On my old profile, it was Overflux, man. I did level 9 Sven. I got to level 9 on Sven, and I never dropped an Overflux. And then on this profile, I've dropped like 7 now. And I'm only like 1.2 mil XP. Kinda crazy. What if thought Amethyst is enchanting? I guess. Because it is purple. But then what? I guess Opal could be alchemy. I don't know. Not a fan of Skatha. Yeah, he's a little expensive and annoying to get, for sure. For sure. Alright, we're going to freeze to death soon, boys. It is our final reckoning. Let's see if I can get that. Nice. Opal being alchemy sounds right. Loki, I forgot alchemy is a skill, so I didn't think of that. Yeah, I forgot about that. I was hoping we'd get that. As a part of the forging update is an alchemy revamp, because alchemy sucks, man. Alchemy's trash. So I'm curious what they would do to make alchemy worth it, though. Just like, I mean, right now it upgrades your god potion, which I think is great. So they could just keep doing that. Where is that the rift? No, that's a Glacial Mineshaft. What are we doing right now? What are we at? 26 glossies. Okay, we are now an hour in and we're at 26. All right, fellas. Remember when I said I needed 8? I got 12 or 14. I got 14. So we are cooking right now. We are cooking big time. Alchemy revamp 2027 real. What's good, Sergio? How you doing, bro? My co-op member is Alchemy 6. Oh, man. Yeah, Alchemy's a pain, especially outside of Derpy. Only at 5. What is my luck this Fiesta? Bro is down bad. He's down bad. Let's see. We're going to blow that up. Nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I feel like right now getting Heart of the Mountain 7 is really going to suck. But, you know, when they added Crystal Nucleus, getting Heart of the Mountain 7 was a lot easier. And then I think whenever we do, what's it called? Did I say, well, when they do Glaciate or Galatia V2, second Forging Island, then Heart of the Forest will be a lot easier. Okay, this lobby sucks. Let me swap. 16 glossies, bruh. Why am I only at 10? Don't you live, like, across the world, so you're on, like, 200 ping? Because that would explain it. Bonk. From Ruby mining, I'm gonna go back to Glaciate tunnels. Perhaps that will fix it. Perhaps. Yo, GG. I've had 6 using full Devon and 555, so definitely not an optimal setup. I'm hard mount 10 though, so I was kind of expecting slightly better. Yeah, I mean, it also depends on, again, your ping and, like, your Heart of the Mountain powders and stuff. Why in mycelium mining use Black Cat? Because Black Cat, Mythic Black Cat has a perk that gives you 15% extra collection, which is nice. And I guess because of the speed, but that's not like the best thing to use now. Isn't Snail better, chat? Like running Glossy and Snail? Or I guess if you have Glossy Armor Black Cat. I don't know. I don't keep up with my Mycelium strats. It's not really my my forte. I have 13 with 5 mil gemstone powder and Heart of the Mountain 9. Yeah, definitely if you get more powder it'd be a lot better. But I mean 13 is not terrible. It's not terrible. Boom. I have Glossy. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would assume that that would be the reason. If somebody who's better than me told you to do that, then yeah. If somebody who knows what they're talking about told you to do that, then that would be the reason. Because Mythic Black Cat Pet has the 15% extra drops. I always feel so much laggier than TPS says, probably because of my ping. Yeah, quite possibly. 18 mil gem, 8 mil mithril, and I'm EU on like 100 ping. Okay. Yeah, unlucky then, pretty much, because that's good powder. Can you tell me why there's a Godroll Hellfire that is craftable, gives you 8 feathers? I mean, it's first off expensive, but yeah, it does give a lot of feathers. That is true. That is true. But, I mean, right now, I think Magma Lord is actually the best thing to go for. How much are Magma Lord frags? They've got to be through the roof, man. Are they on Bazaar? Magma Lord frags, yeah. Dang, 4 mil insta-buy. So it's 16 mil to make a pair of boots. But if you get the God Roll boots, that is like... isn't it like 14 feathers or something? Or 16 feathers? I think it's like 16 feathers for a Magma Lord God Roll. It's kind of absurd. Frags used to be like 5.5 mil. How long ago was this? Boom. I have 6 glossies with Heart of the Mountain 10 and 25 mil powder. Dang. Unlucky, dude. Let's do that. No, I just used it. SMH. 60? No, 16. It might be 16. That's what I was saying. Can't remember. The God Roll on them, though? Magic Find, Blazing Fortune, I think. Swavey had it in his video. I wasn't paying that much attention. But I heard him say that was really good. Fiesta is not it for me. 10 glossies is crazy. Not in a good way. Unfortunate, bro. Unfortunate. Alright, I need another mine shaft up in here, please. God Roll Magma Lord is Magic Find, Blazing Fortune because they both give Magic Find. Yeah. But I know some people use, like, Blazing Fortune fishing experience as well because you can level up pets and get a bunch of money from leveling pets as well. So, I don't know. I'm gonna give up on glossies. I'm just gonna level a pet. Valid. Valid. Which, I don't know. I'm trying to get this guy to level 100 today. I think we'll do it. If we can get some... Oh, that's the wrong button. That works, though. Interesting. Alright. But if I can get some commissions done. Right now, he is asking me to do Onyx. Okay, if he was asking me to do Citrine, I might would do it. But I'm good. Yo, it's good, Seraph. How come glossy prices are so low? Is it because Cole got elected several times, or is it going to stabilize at current price? Yeah, it's because Cole was elected recently. Plus, we're getting Jerry coming up soon. Also, nobody's leveling up their mining gear because everyone's saving money for foraging or spending money in preparation for foraging. So basically, everyone's broke. That's the gist. Only people buying glossies right now are investors or diehard miners. Sounded weird. Diehard mining fanatics. Say that better. Mythic Hermit finally completely forgot about it. Nice. Yeah, they're adding frog pets. I think I saw another pet that they're adding other than frog and like Jade Dragon. I want to say there was a third pet, but I can't remember. I might be tripping. It might just be those two. Which those two are they're on the wiki now, so you can see what the legendary frog's perks are. It's kind of crazy. Isn't there a panda one or no? There is a panda on the like on the foraging island, but I don't think he's a pet. You guys are getting double digits. I got 2, bruh. It's like, what's that meme where it's like, I got whatever and I got whatever. You guys are getting paid, you know? I'm only making $500 a month and I'm only making $200 a month. You guys are getting paid? All right, let's see. Frog gonna be foraging pet? Yes, he is. And I'm trying to remember what his perks are. Okay, Citrine. You know what? This is decent. I can live with this. It's not quite Jasper, but it'll have to do. It will have to do. Where is my Lapis corpse? Nowhere to be seen. There he is. What's up, Brody? All right, let me not hit the wrong button this time. Okay, cookage. Think we're getting it this Tuesday? I think if we were getting it this Tuesday, they would have announced maintenance by now. So, I doubt it. I doubt it. Especially because, let's see, Tuesday is in Then let's see, Saturday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we're getting Wednesday morning, we're getting Jerry. So I think they're probably just waiting, honestly, probably because of Jerry. Because they don't want mining fiestas overlapping with foraging. Why is it always a Tuesday, though? I mean, I don't know. That's just the schedule. I think somebody was telling me that's just how devs like to do their updates generally, is either on a Tuesday or Thursday, because they get time to fix bugs before the weekend. I don't know why we ignore Wednesdays, but isn't it good to go find Jade Dragon? Yeah, Jade Dragon's very good. But you need a shiniest to get it, which I believe is from maxing a milestone in the contests page, from what I have heard. Pretty crazy. Yo, chill. Let's do that. Voila. When they bring it out with the anniversary event, or are they not doing anything for that? When is the anniversary again? Isn't that June? I imagine they'd want it out before June, because you don't want to release like multiple big things like that. It is June. I meant July. I said June. I was thinking July. Yeah. So it's the 11th. Okay, so 4 days. I don't know. I guess if we're getting an event for that, which wouldn't that be in the calendar? Yeah, that should have been in the calendar if that was happening. It does not appear it is happening. So that's a little awkward. That's a little bit awkward. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, cook all of these guys. There we go. Beautiful. Voila. Good every year, so they're replacing it maybe with the foraging update. This first time they miss it. Again, though, they're gonna have to do maintenance. So if they were gonna do maintenance on Tuesday, they would have announced it by now. For sure. Year of the Pig was always anniversary. Yeah, so I guess they don't have anything planned for this time, really. Have to have another year of get added. Which could be the case. They could just surprise, here's a year of the whatever. Frog, year of the frog, why not? So. But I imagine they'll at least have like, they should at least have Simon in the hub giving out the anniversary cakes, right? Or anniversary hats. Hat accessories. Boom. You're the goat, why not? Real. I mean, when they update, you know, there's so many mobs in the game that I haven't even thought about. I don't know if a lot of you noticed, if you didn't watch my my last video with the attributes and stuff, but they added shulkers. Shulkers are on the foraging island. And striders are also on the foraging island. And like a lot of people haven't even seen those areas. But there are shulkers on the foraging island. Who would have guessed? Strange time for them too? Yeah, we'll just have to see. What's your texture pack? It's linked in the description, and all the names of the packs are there as well. It's a mixture of like 12 different packs. But, yep, there's phantoms there as well. Which the phantoms kind of smack you in the face, like the second you go on the island. Like you go on the island, and then within like the first 15 minutes, you have to hunt a phantom as part of the quest line. So. Year of the Jade Dragon, it gives foraging wisdom. They'd have to do a bigger event than that, surely. I mean, Year of the Seal adds talismans. Year of the Pig adds talismans. You know? Equipment, stuff for museum. Upgrades for farming. You know, it's got to be something related to a skill that gives you upgrades for it. So they could do a year of something for foraging as well. Year of the Frog, and it gives like a tree frog talisman that buffs your sweep or something. Got a double chest of God rolls and 10/10s. Bro's gonna be rich. Bro's gonna be super rich. But 18 double chests of ramparts, 7 double chests of magma rods, 200 plus runs worth of Kudra drops with attributes. Man is gonna be dripped out. Man is gonna be dripping. T12 wood minions would be crazy. I haven't seen that. I have not seen that those got added, which is a little wild. Yo, Cop, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it, man. Again, boys, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to smash that sub button. We got to get to 30K so I can skip the queues for Alpha. Because you know they're going to come out with Slayer update, which could be on Alpha. But I imagine at the very least, the next island they add will be foraging related as well. So, whatever the second big foraging island is, be nice to be able to get early access and not have to wait for queue. Smile. We can get some videos up ASAP. Gonna be a very nice update for Iron Man as they are no longer time, not as much to get tier Svens. Yeah, it won't take like nearly as long to take down most mobs with the right attribute builds and stuff, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy stuff. I'm trying to plan out what I need to do for the 24-hour stream for foraging. I think we are going to focus every skyblock day. I want to get like the highest rank we can in the contests. So we'll try and do that every 20 minutes so that we can get good Heart of the Forest XP for that. And also the tickets and stuff will be really nice. And then we're also going to be focusing on hunting stuff after we're done with that every day. So, already sold all my Slayer update investments, bruh. So is there a Slayer with the Stray, or is that not a Slayer? Nah, the Strays are not Slayers. They just drop a new shard, which that shard is like Skeleton Slayer. Like it looks like it's Skeleton Slayer based because right now, you know, there's like extra damage against spiders, extra damage against undead mobs, extra damage against like Endermen. So it could be that they're doing a Slayer for skeletons at some point, but generally if they're gonna do a new Slayer, they add a new island, and it's not on the foraging island right now, so I imagine that is not going to be the case, at least not for a while. So maybe with the second foraging island we'll get a Slayer, but I think the next Slayer update we get is going to be adding T5s to the current Slayers. Realize that means I invested 3.5 or 5.3 billion. It's a little bit of coins. A little bit. Just about to say add Zombie Slayer. Real. When we getting Zombie Slayer T6s, chat? Come on now. Come on now. Everybody wants them. Island Cave is small, so won't the meta be the hub castle? I feel like the meta has been the hub castle for a while now. And a lot of people just don't realize how good the hub is. Especially if you get a friend or two to help you spawn and kill stuff. Because I grinded in the hub back when I was doing Slayers. And that was like 2 years ago. Which granted, they redid that stuff. They redid the cave a few times, I think. Well, at least once since then. But I feel like it wasn't even that much better. And now, like, the way that it looks is like you're going to have 3 players. Like, at least in the way it's intended. Is like you're going to have 3 players doing Svens per island. And so you just pick a cave and just go, pretty much. Because there's 3 new Sven caves. I didn't get to show it in the video, but there is one on the Acacia Island. I just didn't realize it was there. But that's the best one, is the one on the Acacia Island. Alright, we're about to freeze to death, boys. It's not good. Not good. As long as Fiesta got left, it should have an hour left. And then we will be done. Alright, my money is ready. Come here. That's the wrong button. That awkward moment when you try to hit slash and hit the Windows key. 40 million coins from the Paradots. So we're up to 300 mil right now. I need to save up 500 mil so I can buy the Jade Dragon. At least 500 mil for that. And that's not even talking about like all the attributes I'm probably gonna have to get and stuff, which if I need to grind money, if that ends up being the grind I'm on, then we've got plenty of ways to go about it. Up to 30 glossies now, an hour and 20 minutes in. It's pretty solid. So we're a little over halfway. So at this rate, we should end up with over 50 at least. They aim for a bill, that's what I'm doing. Valid. But I don't know. I mean, I'm missing the next Fiesta for sure. That's in 9 hours. It's going to be at 2 a.m. for me. So pass. And then the one after that, it's going to be in 19 hours. So that's going to be like 1:30. I can make it to that one. So I'll probably stream that tomorrow. Or if I don't stream it, I'll at least play it. But if I play it, I'll probably stream it. So that'll hopefully be another couple 100 mil off of that. I do have some things I can sell if I need to. As always. I got some things I can liquidate, but shouldn't have money. You should have 10 attribute armors, SMH. Nah, man, I need something so I can buy Jade Dragon. This is the way. Why stream vertical? You're on the short stream, dude. Check the pinned comment and you can go to the big stream if you would like to. Upcastle best spot for macros. Overflux capacitors got so cheap. Bro, people macro Sven. I mean, I guess that's believable. People macro anything. Got 10 bill ready for the attribute. Pets armors. Yeah. I don't think you'll need that much for sure. I mean, well, for the attribute side you might. But everything else is going to be pretty cheap other than the Jade Dragon. Tried to join the Fiesta, but I did it with 8 to 10 TPS the Crystallos, bruh. Yeah, that's a little yikes. A little yikes. Doot. Let's see. Smack. Got him. They should make macroing harp legal. Bruh, when they deleted the harp, they had the harp deleted for a split second, and then they make you do a quest to get it back. So sad. It was so sad. That's the worst part of the foraging update, is that the harp still exists. They redid the park, and they didn't delete the harp. Very sad. Depending on the Jade Dragon, it's a little underwhelming, is what it looks like to me. But hopefully it gets a buff at some point, or I don't know. It's not really too much to complain about, I guess. It's very expensive though for very small buffs, but you know I'm gonna have it. It's gonna happen. It's just a question of how long it takes me to get that shiniest. Extra pristine attribute is so good. Yeah, that one's gonna be nice. Is there a new perk for the Golden Dragon or something? Yes, there is a perk for Golden Dragon that gives you extra coins on kill if you have a level 200 G-Drag. So it is going to make like just killing mobs give a lot more money. So Dungeon is going to make more money off of that alone. Which I think they definitely needed to do that, because right now there's no, like, very few people that are grinding methods that add coins into the economy, you know, like selling stuff to NPC. There's not really that much getting added into the economy. Which, I mean, right now, Necron's handles are currently 800 mil, which is way lower than they've been previously. Like, I was selling them for 950 mil like a month ago. So they've dropped quite a bit, and that is because of deflation. So they're kind of having to combat all of the like deflation that they added in by nerfing the slime minions. So adding in that perk should help add some more coins into the game for sure. Coins per kill. Hound had that. Mercenary buff, sort of. Yeah, sort of. Let's do this. Bro wants inflation. I don't want inflation. At least not that much. In SkyBlock, I feel like a little bit can be a good thing. Sometimes. You don't want much, though. Like, not much at all. Like, it shouldn't be the case that somebody who has, you know, 5 build net worth right now comes back in like a year and has doubled their net worth. Like, that should definitely not be the case. But it also shouldn't be the case that somebody who has 5 build net worth right now comes back in a year and has 3 build net worth. So, kind of got to find that balance. You know what I'm saying? It's better when handles 300 mil. Crazy. Deflation really bad. I mean, it's not the worst thing that can happen, for sure. Because, you know, if one thing gets less expensive, then generally everything gets less expensive. But it does become an issue if it's happening for too long. So, right now it's not been happening for too long, so it's not too bad. But they definitely need to add some coin sinks in a little bit, which I think that G-Drag will help. Honestly, that might be enough to combat it for a while. How much money per hour do you make from Fiestas? I'm making about 100 mil an hour. Somewhere between 80 and 100 mil an hour, generally. Inflation is a good thing, but it needs to be way slower, like maybe 15% a year. Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit. In-game, you don't want it in real life, like, hardly at all. But in-game, it's fine. Ever do profile reviews? You can do exclamation PV in the chat. But I don't do them right now. Usually I would do them on Saturdays. But yeah, Nightbot just explains it if you do exclamation PV. Normally I do it on Saturdays, but since it's thing right now. Yo, Shy found me, let's go. But since it's a Fiesta right now, we're doing this instead. Why does the profit calculator say 20 mil an hour? Because he's not calculating in all the glossies. And also BLC profit calculator isn't very accurate. He's not very accurate. I think he's calculating if I sold to NPC as well. So, if I sold to NPC, that's how much I'd be making. But Paradots go for like 50% more to players, to Bazaar. So, do you add people? I do, although my auto add mod on BLC has not been working recently, which is awkward. What's the new best axe? Tree cap is still going to be the best when you first start off. But the fig stone axe can be better. It's just you have to have like, I don't know, 100,000. I think it's 110, 112,000 collection in one of the new collections for it to accept. It combined the other FAD that was sent, so I couldn't accept both of them. I don't know why my auto thing hasn't been... Yeah, auto friend. Like, I have it online. So, I don't know. How do you work out how much you make an hour mining? Just, like, calculating how many glossies I get. And generally what I do is I'll empty my purse at the end of a Fiesta. And then see how much money I made and then divide that by, you know, 2 hours and 20 minutes. 2 1/3. And whatever that is how much I made per hour. 2.33, whatever like money amount I made divided by 2.33. Something along them lines. Boom. So it really just depends on my glossy rates generally. But usually I make at least 75 mil an hour. Forging update reminds me a lot of the Rift. It really reminds me of when Crimson Isle came out. Like a lot. Because I remember everyone was hyped about attributes being added and equipment being added. And all the new bosses and stuff and Kudra. All that stuff was going to be hype. And it was very hype. The new Crimson armor and Terror armor. All that jazz. So, you know, the same way that all that stuff felt OP back then is the same way attributes kind of feel OP right now. And so when anything feels OP, everyone panics. Because they think that that OP thing is going to mean that they make less money. Which sometimes it does, but it doesn't mean their money method's dead. And a lot of people are freaking out thinking their money method's dead. I've seen so many people, I mean not so many, but there's been a few people who are just like fully like, I'm quitting this game, it's trash, off of this update. I'm like, dude, you need to touch grass. Like, real. Goodness sakes, man. Holy. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. What's the auto pet rule? When gain mining XP, equip Skatha if in glaciate tunnels, and when gain mining XP, equip Golem if in glaciate mine shafts, and then actually it might be Dwarven mines for the Skatha, and then when cast fishing rod, equip Bow Pet. But yo, Zezio, thank you for the sub, appreciate it, man. Again, boys, if y'all haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do that. We're closing in on 30K. We're getting there. I like the new attribute system. Seems more balanced to me, and I enjoy having them always on. Yeah. It's like, you know, there's so much that goes into, like, a meta piece or a meta setup right now. You know, you got to have, like, all the talismans. You got to have the right pet. You got to have... Please mind that. Thank you. You got to have the right attributes on your armor and on your equipment and have it level it up a lot. You know, there's just so much. And this is going to make that cut back a little bit, but you're still going to have, like, crazy damage in most scenarios. So. Isn't Deadeye like 25% more arrow damage? It is, yeah. So, that one alone is going to make doing dungeons quite a bit easier. I think when the forging update comes on... the alloy will drop price. Oh yeah, alloy will drop a decent amount. I imagine a couple $100 mil at the very least, but we'll just have to see. There's a lot of pros and cons to a point where it balances out. Yeah, I think like the cons are very minimal. Very minimal. Like again, the RNG drops are gonna drop in price a bit, but the money method of getting those RNG drops shouldn't really drop, because although the drops will go down in price, your money per hour shouldn't, because you're going to be getting more drops per hour. So generally that balances out pretty well. And a lot of people just see, oh no, my handles are going to be less money, and don't realize, oh yeah, I'm going to be dropping like a lot more handles now. It's not a lot more, but I'm going to be dropping more handles, so it'll balance out. But yes, Picobulus gives glossies. It's good to have attributes separate to combat progression. Yeah, that's also nice. That it's like a whole nother skill. You can get it while doing combat, but if you don't want to, then you don't have to. Alright, here, let me do this. Da-doot. There you go. Couldn't accept it in time. I wasn't fast enough. Alright. Can I mine in the Dwarven mines and get glossy with 555? Yes, you can. Well, not in the Dwarven mines now, because you have to be mining gems. So Dwarven mines won't work unless you're mining in glaciate tunnels. But as long as you're mining gemstones, then yes, you can. Is there an OP attribute that gives better dungeon chest luck? Yo, Gravy, thank you for the sub, appreciate it. Yes, there is an attribute that gives better dungeon chest luck. There's also an attribute that gives you like extra extra bonus score if you kill like princes, which are the ones that spawn in the crypts and drop like extra revive stones. So kill those with that attribute, you also get that. There's also an attribute that gives you 10% extra stats from blessings, which is going to be very strong. And then there's one that, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's Deadeye, which, you know, gives you the extra arrow damage. So like all these ones that buff damage, like you used to have like no attributes in dungeons other than like maybe dominance and speed, and that was like the dungeon setup. And now you're gonna have dominance, you're gonna have Deadeye, you're gonna have all this other stuff. It's gonna be so nice. But yeah, Picobulus gives glossies, yes. The dungeon's gonna be a lot faster now, yeah. I mean, the people that had, you know, 4 or 10-10, you know, 4 pieces of like 10-10 dominance equipment, they might feel a little bit worse, possibly. But I think once you get all the attributes, because I mean, I think with all that, with 40 levels of dominance right now, you get a 60% damage increase. So to start with, they're going to feel that loss. But, you know, you're going to have dominance now. You're going to have Deadeye. So dominance is 15%. Deadeye is 25%. So that makes 40%. And then there's Elite, which is extra damage against bosses. So against the actual bosses themselves, that's going to make... that gets a 30% damage increase. So that's going to be 70 total. 70% damage increase, which is already better than 10-10 equipment. And then, I mean, I think there's more than that as well. There's against undead mobs, which I think withers are undead. So that's another one. And, you know, there's against ender mobs as well. So that will work against fells. And, like, it's just going to be crazy. It's good, Clover. How you doing, bro? Sold my Scathe. The arc is over. Just can't bear mining with 140 ping. Valid. Fair enough. It is what it is. Unlucky, dude. Alright, excuse me, sirs. Stop. Bad. Oh, there's been 3 Lapis corpses in here this whole time, and I didn't even realize. That's crazy. Boom. Is there... Where's the third one? I got that one. I didn't get this one. There we go. I've been missing out on so much pristine. Yikes. To admit, 1v1 me in chess, you would win, bro. I resign. LF Vanguard. I found one earlier. I didn't want to, but I did. Throwing. Yep, I'm selling right now. Actively selling. See, this is why I make less money in Fiestas while I'm streaming. Right here. This reason right here. Unfortunate. What makes Dwarven mines lag during cold? Because there's so many people mining. That's what does it. There's a bunch of people warping in and out of lobbies because of mine shafts. So there's people constantly warping in and out, and that makes it lag because it's loading people's profiles and then unloading them and then loading them and then unloading them. Constantly doing that. So that'll make it lag a bit. We want Vanguard Gamble. I already have a locket that I dropped myself. I don't need to do another one. I'm good. I feel about the update to 1.20. I am super excited about it. I feel like they added so many cool mobs just from this update. And then there's so many more mobs that they can do things with. Like, I mean, there's wardens they can do stuff with. There's camels, armadillos. They could make the armadillo pet so you're actually riding a real armadillo in the future. If they decide to update, you know, mining islands to 1.20. And then, I mean, what else? They already added shulkers, which was really cool. I didn't expect that. What else? What else? There's more mobs. My brain's not working right now, though. I mean, they added frogs. They added a bunch of the underwater guys, which was sick. There's more that I'm not thinking of. But... you can also scale mobs in 1.21. Yeah, I mean, they have, like, you know, the different sizes of the panda, which is really cool. Sure that there's a way to make client-side mining in 1.21. That'd be interesting. Do. Let's see. Yoink. So then you wouldn't have to worry about, like, your ping. So people with bad ping could actually mine. Be crazy. Now I know about the new hunting and attribute system. Should I go for a Godroll Crimson set or a set with normal attributes is okay? I mean, good luck buying a Godroll Crimson set right now because they are super expensive because the compensation is definitely overcompensation from the update. But, I mean, either one is fine at this point. Either one works. If you drop another locket, you get more coins. More coins equals more Vanguard Gamble. More Vanguard Gamble equals more lockets or coins. Only if I'm lucky, bro. And I'm already lucky on M7. I don't want to risk being unlucky on Vanguards. It took me 33 keys the first time, or 34, or something like that. So, I ain't trying to risk it. I'm good. Peridot better than Citrine? I think Citrine's slightly better as far as flawless prices go. Peridot's more expensive if you sell it in perfect form, but you know you got to drop the crystal for that. So they're about the same. Just I don't really care enough to learn where all the citrine spawns are right now. I already know the Peridot spawns. It's like 400k more coins per flawless, so it really doesn't matter. 500 keys deep and still no locket before I left mining. Bruh. Ain't no way. How much you think vet shards will be? I don't even remember how you get vet now. Is that one of the ones from M7? It might be. I want to say it's a dragon shard somehow. They might be pretty expensive, honestly. They could be up there. I would not be shocked if they are on the more expensive side of things. 50-50, either you get it or no. Please, no, not this. Not again. We are mixing up probability and possibility. There's a big difference. It's possible you drop it, it's possible you don't. But the probability of you dropping it is not 50-50. All Fiestas are bad timing for me. Again, I am missing 2 out of 5. So, same as last time. Unfortunate. Yeah, Emperor Skulls are mad expensive because of the Diver's armor. Bet that there would be more forging. Or I expect that there will be a forging mayor in the update. I don't know. I don't feel like there's a ton of crazy things that a forging mayor could add right now. Maybe whenever we get like the second forging island, it could happen, but at the moment I feel like it's not really that necessary. What is April Fool's? They just removed RNGs and they didn't tell us to see if anyone notices. Real. Best April Fool's joke. Facts. Goodness, that server is laggy. Let's try again. How we doing on this? 30k bits saved up. Is Necron armor good? It's good for dungeons. Outside of dungeons, Crimson at burning tier now will beat it, but other than that. Are you ever going to start an Iron Man or Stranded profile? I might start a Stranded at some point. Like if I run out of things to do on this one, then I'll start a Stranded. But I'm not doing an Iron Man. I'm good. I'll pass. Unless they make the game like way, way shorter. Just every grind is 10 times easier. I'm just not doing it. I just ain't doing it. Forging Mayor, I mean, I'd assume it'd add a forging event like Festival Fiesta. They could do that. That's true. That is true. Maybe make you gain like extra powder. Extra. What's the forging powder? Forging Whispers, I think is the name of it. So that could work. That is possible. But who knows? Aurora's barely better than Storm at High Infernal without attributes. I think it's still better once you get it to Fiery. It's slightly better at Fiery. Like Fiery 5-star is when it gets better, I think. I don't know. It might be Infernal. But you still want to wear the, I think the Wither Goggles are still better than Helmet now. Forging Fiesta Mayor would be interesting. Fiery 5-star is still insane. Yeah. I do think Aurora needs a buff after this update. For sure. I think most of the other armors are fine. I don't know. Maybe Crimson could start off with... Maybe they just change the scaling, to be honest. And just make it so that, like... You know, it's still the same stats once you get it to max. It's just starts off better. Maybe. I don't know. Storm has more HP still at Fiery. Dang. Forging Whispers, you say? Sounds like the voices are trying to connect us all to a hive mind of Heart of the Forest. Interesting. It's a very specific, like, scenario you just thought up there. You're a YouTuber, so you have to know when forging. Dude, I don't think the admins even know when forging. I'm gonna be real. If it was happening soon, they would have, like, if it was coming to main, they would have put a notice out for maintenance if it was coming out soon. I think they're still just trying to make sure there's no bugs. Like, no crazy game-breaking bugs. I heard there was a wipe on day 1. I don't know if that got patched out or what, if it was fake. I heard fake news, that's possible. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna have that information for a while. Imagine we all misunderstood the update and it's actually forging update. Like forging as in the forge in mines instead of chopping trees. That would be yikes. That would be yikes. But it is on alpha right now and we can play it. So I'm pretty sure it's not that. Having played like 5 or 6 hours of it, I'm pretty sure it's not that. 12 vangs so far, negative 120 mil, bruh. Losing 10 mil on average per vang is pain. Visual bug, real. Real. Alright, how much longer we got on this? Like 30 minutes. See if we can get another good mine shaft. How many glossies am I at right now? 43. So yeah, we got 30 minutes. I should definitely get over 50. Hopefully. That's the dream. Some level 93 days ago said, when is the forging update? Yeah, man, like, I had to start just hearting comments instead of replying to them because so many comments. I can tell. It's only on the YouTube shorts, so I can tell it's like the 9-year-olds asking when forging update is. It's like, man, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I wish I knew, bro. I don't even have red name now. Like, why am I expected to know? Of all the people to ask, why me? I don't got red name, bro. Heck W. How long of a grind do you think it'll be for all the attributes? Oh, man. I mean, if you're Iron Manning it, it will be hundreds of hours. It will 100% be hundreds of hours. I don't know how many hundreds. I imagine if you Iron Man it, you're going to have to do a lot of M7 to get all the shards you need and everything like that. So I wouldn't doubt it's a 1,000-hour grind. I'm going to be honest. To max all of them, if you're like not buying anything, I wouldn't doubt it's a 1,000-hour grind. Straight up. Just from the fusions you have to get. The attribute that costs 240k bits, worth it? I mean, if you already have a really high fame rank, then probably. But if you've got a low fame rank, it's probably not worth it. 12:50 a.m. for me. I have a test tomorrow, but if you can let me steal your soul, I'll lock on. I mean, sometime when it's not Fiesta. I do stream quite often, so I'm sure there will be a better time for my soul to be stolen. Buy the offensive ones and then like knockback res or something. Yeah, that's valid. I mean, most of the ones that you can get like right now will probably be pretty cheap on release, because I imagine people will be selling a lot of their extra attributes from their level 10 god rolls. Because the legendary attributes you only need, I think, 24 of to max, and you get 128. So you get like 5 times what you need if you have level 10 already to get level 10. And that's just from one armor piece. If you have one piece of 1010, you get 128 for that. So if you're getting a full, like, or 3/4 of a set with 1010 and you're turning that in, you use one part of it for yourself, and then you have like an extra 14 times what you need left over. What happened to 1B? Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. See, we were twins and I ate him in the womb. So that's what happened. Imagine if Cole wins the next mayor election. That would be doubtful. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Jerry. Pretty sure. So I heard you're going to give your extras to me. I don't know where you heard that. Were the forging whispers talking to you? Because I don't think I said that. I'm pretty sure that never happened. Will Cole keep all perks past next? Yes. But I don't think he can be elected this next time, actually. You have to be minister from Diaz if you are going to be in the next election cycle. So since he's minister right now, I don't think he can be in the current election cycle. Like in the voting booth right now. Will they let less than MVP plus on alpha at all? I don't know, man. I do not know. It is not... Like, there's not a ton of people right now. There's less than 800 or less than 750 for the first time since launch. So they might start letting people in tomorrow, or they might just close it tomorrow. Who knows, man?
As a child, I yearned for the mines.
Who knows? Yo, Lux, thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate it. Again, boys, if y'all haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do that. Closing in on that 30K so I can skip Q. Let's go. What you mining? I'm mining Peridot. So we have another coal after Jerry. I don't know. He could get it elected again, yeah. He could be in the cycle, but I imagine if there's a Diana, that Diana will get elected. Which actually, I didn't even think about that. We are gonna have Diana during Jerry. And I did get a membership goal done a while back where I have to max out my Diana's bookshelf. So I get those 3 books during this next Jerry. Yo, Sabi and Baz, thank you guys for the subs. I appreciate it. Let's go. Getting closer to that 30K. Now when we have Derpy again, it's going to be a while because we're getting Jerry and then Scorpius and then Derpy, I believe. So it's going to be another month or 2. Or yeah, it's going to be at least 2 months. All right, another mine shaft. Let's see what we got. Boom, please be good. Peridot again. Okay. See, the Fiesta yesterday, I got 3 Peridot crystal mine shafts. Today we've gotten 2 Peridot mine shafts, but neither have been crystals. Depression. Depression. But I mean, we got enough yesterday. It's fine. But yeah, Jerry's happening right now, and then we'll have Scorpius, and then we'll have Derpy. Well, he's not happening right now, but he's happening next week. Or, yeah, it's Saturday, so technically he's happening next week. Why? Derpy sucks. Yeah, Derpy sucks for us later game players, but if you ain't got that Alk 50 level yet, then he do come in handy. Is my Molten Bracelet MP7 MR8 God Roll? I don't think so. I think for a Molten piece to be God Roll, it has to be a Lifeline Mana Pool. But I could be wrong. But I don't think it is. We'll just have to wait and see. Say I'm early game and Derpy still sucks? Fair enough. Fair enough. Why are you mining at suboptimal rates? Why are you not liking the stream at suboptimal rates? Or why are you liking the stream at suboptimal rates? There we go. First try. First try. There we go. Bro hasn't liked the stream yet. I can tell. I can tell. How much net worth would you consider a late end game? It's very different between late and end game. Say most end game players would be 100 bill plus, and late games probably 40 bill. I don't know, 30 to 40, somewhere around there. Hope they add a forging mayor. Yeah, that would be nice. I don't think it's happening though. At least not with the Glacier release. It might be happening on second island, but who knows, dude? Merked. I can't jump, bro. Can't do it. Use the beans texture pack. I don't think I even want to know what that is. I don't think I do. Can't play Fiesta here in Italy. Too much ping and also people griefing. See, that's what you don't have to worry about whenever you mine in mine shafts. People don't grief. They can't really grief. can be contested, but when you find a mine shaft, it's all yours. All yours. Do flipping during the fiestas and make more than the mining people. Crazy. Crazy. Boom, 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 boom. I don't think a flip stream would be as fun though, because every single flip that I found would instantly become trash. So, can't really stream flipping. That doesn't really work, unfortunately. It's like streaming yourself trading stocks. It's just not the way. It's just not the way. Ruby mining in the big 2087. Crazy. Crazy. You think these servers will be up in 2087, chat? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. If they're still, you know, making forging updates in 2087, props to the admin team. Can make a members only stream about trading. I don't know. Even then, I think I'd still get crashed a little bit. Just a bit. Can I? There we go. 4 mil mithril powder enough for mineshaft mining? I mean, you can do it with that. I would recommend grinding your powder up though. I don't recommend like mining for money until you've got 20 mil powder and like 8 mil mithril. Generally. Nice. Why? Because, I mean, you got to get it at some point. It's what you need. I mean, well, you don't have to get it, but it buffs how much money you make. So, might as well get it. If you do your mithril, like if you grind your powder up to the maximum amount that you need, it's just constant extra money per hour that you make whenever you're mining. So, might as well do that before you even think about doing money mining. The strats. Max all the perks with 12 mil for what? For gemstone? There's definitely some perks we're missing then. In that case. Because let's see. I have 23 million. I have over 23 million powder. And I've only got 1 mil that I'm not using. So we've got this max, this max, this max, that maxed. We've of course got Core of the Mountain done. Yep. And then we've got this, that. Like all this stuff maxed. It's expensive, but it's worth it. Worth it. How much glaciite powder? I mean, glaciite powder, you make money while you're mining, like, glaciite powder. Glaciite powder makes, like, really good money because you basically do the same thing that you would normally do after you're done with glaciite powder, except you just focus commissions a little bit more, generally.
As a child,
But,
I yearned for
so really, once you start gaining glaciite powder, you never stop. So you don't really have to focus on it. But I stopped, like, using glaciite powder once I got to about 24 million, something like that. Yo, Icy Legend, appreciate the sub, man. Thank you, thank you. Again, boys, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do that. Closing in on 30K. Do-do-do-do. How do you do powder grinding for glaciite? I mean, you can do the excavator strat. That's an option. But I just did, you know, glaciite commissions and, like, mining glaciite to spawn in mine shafts sometimes if I didn't have any gemstones for commissions that I needed to do. So that was a strat. Smack. Beautiful. Let's see. Right here. There we go. Is it a bad idea soul binding my mithril drill for museum? I mean, depends on your net worth, but if you really care about SkyBlock XP, then no. Mineshaft grinding is good, or is it better doing commissions? I mean, part of the commission grind is doing mineshafts. Because, you know, some mineshafts or, like, some commissions are opening corpses. And then you can get some that are, like, killing the mobs in the mineshafts or spawning a mineshaft, you know? So, just doing, like, mineshaft grinding with a squad of 4 is a great way to make money and get your Part of the Mountain XP / powder done. So That's how I did it. It took me 21 hours to get Heart of the Mountain level 10, and I did it from doing commissions that way. Which, that was literally on day 1. They made it a lot easier after that. Now it probably takes like 14, 15 hours to do. From like 7 to 10. But you get my point. Good wolf. I'm level 20 on Iron Man, grinding Mithril Drill. Do be a grind. Do be a grind. Museum isn't just XP, also unlocking the hex and some items. Yeah, because now you actually need the fish as well if you're trying to go for all the respiration levels. Mod gives you the map in the top right. All my mods are built in the Badline client. So that is the Dwarven Mines map in BLC. How'd you make power from mining during the Fiesta and without Fiesta? I got a Devon's drill recently and maxing out powder, so just wondering. During Fiesta, I make somewhere between like 70 to 100 mil per hour. It just depends on glossy rates. If I wasn't going for glossies, if I was doing umber / tungsten, I think I'd be making over 100 mil an hour consistently. But I just like going for glossies because it's more fun. But I don't really mine outside of Fiestas. I have not mined outside of Fiesta in probably over a year at this point. So I don't know. But I imagine it would be somewhere around, like if I was doing this strat, like 30 mil an hour. Something like that. But if I did tungsten, then it'd be more like 40, 50, somewhere around there. Sorry, Ninja. Deserves getting his level pass by being less prepared and fast with the forging update. Real. Yeah, I expect to get passed by a lot of people on forging. But we are going to be doing a 24-hour stream on day 1, so maybe not a ton of people. At least not immediately. Like, I'll be playing 24 hours straight, but then I'm probably not playing, like, hardly at all on day 2. Most likely. Unless I'm that addicted. And I sleep, and then I wake up and instantly start streaming again. What XP are you missing? I need boss collection for Kudra. And also the level, or the legendary Kudra pet from that as well. So that would be 33 XP from that. I also have a bunch of class milestones or class levels I got to get from dungeons. So that's about like 90 XP, I think, from that. And then I've got some dungeon bestiaries I need. I need a Hoppity. I'm missing 1 divine from Hoppity. And there's like one other thing, and I don't remember what it is. That's about it. Think I'll reach max XP before next update, like update after foraging. What XP are you at right now? Which attributes do you have stored away in chest 2B? I can't leak that information. I can't leak it, bro. It can't be done. But I will tell you this. I have done 3,741 collection worth of Kudra. And I have probably not sold armor since like 500 collection. I've saved all of it. So I got like 2.5 or 3,000 collection worth of Kudra armors. Just chilling. For in-game mining, what star would you recommend or strat would you recommend for money grinding tungsten routes? I mean, I don't do it. I've never done it, but I heard it's good. So I don't know. I don't know, dude. I'm not really that up to date on a bunch of the strats right now. Like, I'm mining Peridot right now because it's been good. Citrine is technically better right now, though. I just don't want to learn all the spawns for them. It's gonna burn the economy. That's me, bro. That's me. Oh, our monkey pet price is like through the roof right now. That's kind of crazy as well. Mercs. Do runs with future? I wouldn't mind running some runs with future, but I don't think I'm good enough. Maybe if I haven't maxed Kudra by the time the update drops, then maybe he would run some with me. Perhaps. They're 35 to 40 mil a piece. That is crazy. That is a little crazy. Do this. Boom, boom. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people were saving up like all the enchanted woods and stuff as like an investment. I feel like that didn't make much sense. for most things. Like, you know, when Dwarven Mines came out, there were a couple, I guess there were some recipes, a lot of recipes used gold and iron. But like, I don't think there's anything that used like lapis or redstone. Like, none of the new foraging stuff uses any of that. The only thing that's probably gone up is like, I think you need jungle wood for monkey pets. So if a Ringo pops in with the legendary monkey pet, you know jungle wood's going through the roof. Friend is top 90 Infernal Kudra comps. I can get him to play with you probably. Nah, that's all good. I ain't trying to drag anybody down. Again, I'm a filthy dominance user. So I don't get good parties really. Except from my guild members who I force to play with me. So, you know. Do-do-do-doot. Imagine they add Creaking Heart for new E-Man Beacon and they just swarm you. Oh, that would be fire. That would be sick. Yeah, they're like... They unironically could do a Foraging Slayer on like the next Foraging Island with the Creaking being added in there. Like, just imagine that. That would be crazy. You break down a tree and then a Creaking spawns in and you have to kill it. Be wild. Can I join a guild? I'm looking for an active one. Where can I search? It's hard to find one that's legit. Because most of the time you'll like join one if they tell you to join a Discord that has a verification. Odds are that verification will rat you and steal, like, they'll just like hack you and steal your information and all that stuff. Take your Minecraft account. So you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. 48 glossies. We are at 48 as well. I gotta pass him. See, that got us to 49 for real, for real. No, it didn't. Sad. Do I just play on VLC until all Forge mods are 1.21? I mean, I've been playing on VLC for years, and I will be playing on VLC when this update drops, so I would recommend it personally. But just locked in diamond mining, not the most fun thing to do. Valid. That's valid. We got 15 minutes left. I need to drop at least 2 glossies. Gotta happen. Are they going to transfer the mangrove trees to 1.8.9? They're not. They're not. You can't play on the Foraging Island unless you're on 1.21. Smile. This is the way. Doot. Falling asleep doing Fiesta? Crazy. How can I trade them? So on Bazaar, they'll be a player head. So if you're on 1.8.9 and you look at it on Bazaar, it's going to look like a player head. So you won't be able to see the block on 1.8.9. So if you like try to place the block on your island, it'll be in like the player head form and everything like that. So if you take anything from the Foraging Island that's in 1.21 and take it to an island that's in 1.8.9, then it just looks like a player head. So, but yeah, you'll be able to play the rest of the game on 1.8.9 for sure. Another Peridot mineshaft that doesn't have a crystal. Third one this Fiesta. This is my karma for all the crazy RNG I've gotten over the years. For real, for real. For real. Should I wait for foraging update to drop to buy a hype? Yes. Handles will almost certainly drop by at least 100 mil when that update drops. I am full of Peridot right now. That's crazy. That is a little crazy. Recipe Peridot. Let me make these. Okay. And I'm gonna make like some of these. And we're gonna throw them in here. And I will sell them later. Do this. Beautiful. Do all attributes require the same amount of shards to siphon or to get them max level? They do not. It depends on their rarity. So some shards, the legendary shards, take I think 24 of each to get it to max. And then the common shards take like 84 of each. So is different based on their rarity. Are you doing Fiesta tomorrow, the early one? Nah, that's going to be in 8 hours for me. That's going to be at 4 a.m. I'm a pass. I'll be doing the late one, though. Judgment Core is going lower when the update releases than Jerry Aatrox. Yeah, they should go lower than they will be during Jerry. Should be the case. In theory. Didn't Adam say they were making an official texture pack for 1.21? Yes, but we don't know. They said that's not coming out with this update. That'll be at some point, though. Hytale might come soon after 2080. It could happen. Could happen. But yeah, the last one. Yeah, I'll be doing the last one. I will be doing that one. The 2 a.m. for me, I'm gonna miss it. Yeah, it's a little bit not great timing, but the last one for tomorrow I think is like 1:30 for me. Or is it 12:30? That's gonna be 12:30. So I'm gonna have to be quick. I will get home, I will eat, and then I will hop on, probably, unless I forgot. But I will try not to forget. What's your time zone? I'm EST in the US. I bought 6 Lifeline Manifold Terror helmets for 6 mil, then sold them for 50 mil per when I found out they don't give feathers. They don't give feathers? Helmets don't give feathers? That's crazy. That's yikes for some people that bought that for 50 mil. That's big yikes. Good Dragon, how you doing, bro? That is big yikes. What are the feathers? So, whenever you turn in a god roll on the alpha, since they're deleting god rolls, because attributes aren't on armor anymore, they're applying it straight to your character. Basically, you get a feather, which you can trade in to any RNG meter and get percentage towards that meter. So, for Necron's handles, you turn it in and get like 7,000 or 8,000, depending on if it's M7 or F7. Which is basically the equivalent of 23 S+ runs in M7, which takes at least 3 hours to do in most scenarios. If you have like crazy fast runs, it can be like 2.5 hours or something, or less. But it takes at least 2.5 hours to do that many runs. So for each one of those feathers, that saves 2.5 hours of M7. And depending on the god roll, you can get like up to 16 feathers per piece. So not per armor set, per piece of that armor. So I believe the best set right now is like the most expensive set is Magma Lord. So if you have Blazing Fortune, Magic Find, Magma Lord armor, you can turn that in when the update drops for like 16 of those feathers. So it goes kind of crazy. You don't get feathers from god roll helmets? Apparently not. I think Magma Lord helmet would still work, but like some helmets don't work. Like nobody uses Aurora helmet, nobody uses Terror helmet, nobody uses Crimson helmet really. So I don't know, maybe the Aurora and the Crimson, but nobody runs Terror helmet. Should I get a drill instead of Pico Nimbus now that I'm Harlem Mountain 6? Yes, for sure. Banned me for no reason, but still haven't got my Overflux. Yeah, the feathers are crazy. They nerf spins on alpha. Yeah, I saw the spawns are pain. The spawns are a little bit painful. So maybe they'll increase the spawn rates, because I know there's not like a ton of spawns in most areas. Terror helmet is used for ending. Yeah, so it's used by nobody. Real. So the Aurora and Crimson helmets both count, but the Terror helmet doesn't count. Dang. This is also true for fishing rods. I believe for Hellfire rods it counts. I'm not sure about Inferno rods, but I know it doesn't count for Magma rods. So it's a little risky if you do Inferno. Even the second cave isn't good and the Howling Cave is dead. Yeah. I mean, the Acacia one's not terrible. The Acacia one's not terrible. But the Dark Oak one and the Jungle one are pretty bad. they're pretty bad. It is Fiesta Wii, yes. Those that do use it are called new players. Yeah, and those new players aren't buying God Roll Terror helmets. So again, nobody uses God Roll Terror helmets. Heck W. Alright, sleep well, Snicker. I need a Snickers right now, bro. That sounds delicious. That does sound delicious. Future will find you crazy. My bad. My bad. Whole Peridot Mineshaft with no glossies. Unlucky. What did I just get? We got 5 minutes left. I'm at 49, bruh. It's been 5 minutes. I got 1 in the last 5 minutes. Are we trolling? We gotta be trolling. They should make a separate island connected to Dark Thicket for the Howling Cave. I'm hoping... I don't know. I think they probably would have added it to Galatia if like the entire underground section wasn't underwater. Like there's so much underwater stuff there. But I don't know. We definitely need a better place to do spins though. Like seriously. You got 1 in 5 minutes, haven't had 1 in 15, bruh. Dang, just like this is cooking, bro. Let him cook. Every area of the park and all 3 caves need to be like twice as big. Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much. It's pretty rough in here. On a separate note, I have 550,000 or 550 million, sorry, overflow mining XP right now. Can I transfer some of that to foraging XP? Might be the strats. Good realistic, how you doing, bro? Sleep is a luxury, not a privilege. Crazy. Milkshake sounds good right now, dude. I need like a Butterfingers milkshake right now. That'd be fire. Been mining for 12. I'm losing my mind, bruh. Man's glossy rates are down the drain for real. Starting a new profile for foraging, yo. That will kind of like show off how easy it is to get attributes, I guess. Because I think you'll be able to get a decent amount of attributes pretty easy. Bro, this flame staving guy is in my lobby. Should I ignore Adam? Thoughts? Butterfinger milkshake, what's that and how's it taste? It's like, it's a lot like a Reese's milkshake. So it's like peanut butter chocolate. But Butterfingers are great, dude. They're like, it's like peanut butter chocolate, but it's like, I can't figure out how to describe it because my mouth is watering just thinking about it. You really can't describe it until you've had one. You have to have had one to know what it's like. I already set my alarm clock for 7 a.m. for the next Fiesta. It's midnight right now, bruh. Bruh. Yo, Broke, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Again, boys, if y'all haven't subscribed yet, we're getting close. How close are we to 25K right now? I think we're getting pretty close. We gotta be up there, dude. Yeah, we're 125 subs away from 25K, dude. Closing in on that 30K for Red Name as well. We're cooking right now. If we get this Fiesta tomorrow, might be chilling. You know if the amount of feathers you get from god rolls depends on the level of the god rolls, like the attributes? No, it doesn't matter what level the attribute is. You get the same amount of feathers. At least that's the way it works right now. They may change it before it drops on the main server. I wouldn't be shocked. But the way it works right now is it doesn't matter what level the attributes are as long as it's a god roll. Gotta get level 7 to Bazaar Flip for money. Yeah, that'll be a grind. Plus you'll be able to buy like all the good attributes that way too. Congrats, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Every time I think of foraging, I think most people will be disappointed if they underdeliver, which is maybe likely, especially since 8 years since it's been announced. I think it's a great update, and honestly, probably the reason I think it's great is because so little of it actually has to do with foraging. You can only get to foraging level 54 right now. I mean, they added the Heart of the Forest and stuff, so I'll make a video talking about like the best Heart of the Forest trees and stuff at some point. But like, it's kind of crazy, like how little of this update is actually foraging based, and I'm kind of in love with that part of it. Like the hunting update is super sick. Low key, that's kind of what I want to start calling it instead of the foraging update. It's the hunting update, because I'm like really enjoy the hunting part. Like what I love doing in video games is like exploring and like doing stuff with the wildlife in the game. So, you know, like capturing things is super cool to me. Like with, especially with the fishing net and doing all that stuff, that's like super cool to me. That like, I don't know, what's the word? Did somebody get something cool? All right, there it is. Fiesta's over. That's it. That's it. All right. Let's see. I don't know how much we made. I'm not sure how many glossies we got, but we're going to find out. Yo, Lurks with the rate of 5. Appreciate it, man. W's in the chat for Lurks. Let me figure out how to do this. Doot. Boom. Done it. Let's go. I'm so tired. Oh, man. Couldn't even, like, you waited a second after Fiesta ended. Man. So tired, though. How was your stream, man? Exhausting? K2B, we know you like Monster Hunter. All right, my fault. My fault. So, like, Pokemon. I haven't actually played Pokemon, but I did like Pal World. I did really like Pal World. So, it is kind of, like, very cool to me. But what am I doing? Hearthstone. Ta-da. What stuff do I have in here? I'm kind of scared. Let's do this. Maybe. Let me grab this. Wow, I didn't know I had so much gold. Sheesh. Alright, that's going to take way too long. So let me just get rid of this. Alright, so let's see what we got here. We sell, you know what? Get that out of here. Get all of this out of here. Alright, now we're good. Now we got our scraps. So we got 3 mil from scraps. I got all of these paradots plus some. There we go. Let's go ahead and combine everything real quick. Craft it all up. Boom. Boom. When did I get jade? Did I even mine jade? I feel like I didn't get a jade mine shaft. When did that happen? Did I accidentally, like, pick Obelisk a jade block instead of a peridot block? Is that what happened? I did get a lot of sapphires. Like, holy. That is insane. Alright. And then we can do the fine version. Got 16 glosses this Fiesta, which I think is a bit low, right? Yeah, it's a little bit low. We'll show how many we got here in a second, but hopefully it's a good number. But, I mean, it just depends on your setup as well, and your ping and all this stuff. There's a lot of factors that are part of it. Okay, there's the paradots. Da-doot. Do-doot. It's a lot of opals, man. Alright. Let's see. Let's grab all these. So we'll start off with the paradots. Grab this. Grab those. Anything else I have like nothing of? Not really. Alright. I'm selling both of these to NPC. And server restart. Nice. Number 752 on gold leaderboard. Dang, bro's cooking. Test it. Inferno Rod gave 1 feather. Okay. So there you go. Inferno Rod gives 1 feather, chat. The more you know. Boom, boom. Alright, so then we have 20 mil right there from the paradots. Not great, to be honest, but it is what it is. I have so much sapphire, man. Alright, that's everything. Let's see. Sapphire. Opal I sell to NPC. Got the citrine right there. Boom. So we made 55 mil from gems. We got 52 glossies, though. Please type things. Bonk. Yikes. I made, like, no money today, chat. That is pain. It's good. How you doing, bro? Does Aurora helmet get feathers? I believe it does. I think Terrier helmet is the one that doesn't get feathers. I believe. But yeah, wow. I made, like, no money. That's sad. That's a little bit sad. Let me withdraw 321 mil out here. But we're up to 474, so after tomorrow's Fiesta, I should have enough for the Jade Dragon whenever that drops. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. Hold on to Glossy for like 3 hours. It goes back over 2 mil. That'll be good. Yeah, I feel like my Peridot was like selling for nothing. Low key. Oh well. E's what it is. Probably because I crafted so many into flawed. I probably shouldn't have crafted that many into flawed. But oh well. It is what it is. We made a little bit. So we are up to 474 mil now. Pretty decent. But yeah, 131 mil kind of low, sadly. Yeah. 152 is a lot under my stuff. Is it 1010? From what I've heard, the level of the attributes doesn't matter for whether it's a god roll and for how many feathers you get and everything. Clean god rolls give feathers, right? Yes. From what I have heard, yes. Gonna wait for the 3 in a row call to end till I sell. Valid. But yeah, we should be live, not for this next Fiesta, but for the one after that. So the one in 18 hours, I should be live for that one. And let's just go in here real quick and vote for the GOAT, Jerry. Which actually Cole is in this. Wait, is it Diaz? Hold up, was I tripping? It is. Is it Diaz? It is Mayor Diaz. All right, I'm trolling. All right, so we have 4 perk Cole in here, so I imagine he'll get elected after Jerry's gone. Very, very possible. Very, very possible. But Jerry brings forging update. I doubt it. I doubt it. Made like 150 mil, but luckily co-op exists, and the guy with the alchemy 6 also made 150 mil. Crazy. Crazy. But anyways, that is all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. We got to talk about the forging update for quite a bit. I'm planning on making a video talking about why the admins are changing attributes, because I know a lot of people are confused about that, but they made a blog post a couple years ago talking about why they were going to do this, so planning on talking about that in a video at some point. But we got a lot more guides coming out once the update drops. I might make a few before then as well. But until that point, hope you guys have enjoyed today's stream. Again, we'll be live for the next Fiesta, or the one after the next Fiesta, in 18 hours. So I should be live tomorrow is the plan. And I'll probably chill on Monday. And then we'll be live again Tuesday after that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in with me today. Again, if you haven't already, smash that sub button. We are on our way to 30K subs. I appreciate you. Have an amazing rest of your day, and God bless.